Hi, mga ka-Pinoyliga, magandang gabi and welcome once again to another episode of Bull by the Horn by Benny Benitez, presented to you by Pinoyliga TV. Thank you very much, everyone, for being with us on this broadcast. My name again, once again, is Benny Benitez po. Ako po ang inyong Pinoy Liga founder daw po ang sinasabi nila sa akin. But let me take you on a digital journey tonight, like what we always do every Saturday night with Pinoy Liga TV, with all of the webcasts that we have on a weekly basis. So for tonight, iba po muna tayo ngayon. Kasi last week I think you were looking at the volleyball scene, So kumbaga, we were able to provide you with a glimpse of the different volleyball players and the different, naku, umabot. Teka lang ho, yung battery ko. Dali, nakalimutan ko i-charge. Teka lang po. Ah, there you go. So we have the different volleyball players and of course Doc Ian Laurel of the president of the Philippine Superliga, who was with us, and tapos nung latter stages po nung ating show, nandun po yung ating mga volleyball superstars, si Rachel Andaki, si Abby Maraño, si Majoy Baron. So right now, ang gagawin ho natin is we will go back to Bull by the Horn by Benny Benitez, presented to you by Pinoy Liga TV. And good thing about this is babalik tayo basketball. Balik tayong basketball, balik tayo, pero babalik tayo hindi pro basketball. Punta tayo dun sa college basketball. Sa Ateneo at sa Beda, to be very specific. Ang atin pong pag-uusapan today or tonight is how to build a college basketball program or a winning basketball program. Kasi here in the Philippines, I think if you were to look at things, ang basketball in the Philippines is 60-70% professional basketball, but you cannot discount the fact that college basketball is equally important to us, to our basketball crazy country. So we'd like to have more discussion on that tonight, so pupuntahan ho natin, i-journey tayo with two of the best basketball programs in the Philippines, the Beda Red Lions, and of course ang Ateneo Blue Eagles. Arguable, well, without a doubt, two of the best programs, UAAP and NCAA. Hindi na po natin pag-uusapan yan. Yung pong sustainable business, sustainable program that they have is really a second to none, kumbaga, so yan po, dyan tayo iikot. But meron po tayong makakasama ngayon, that siguro some of you might remember, from way back, college basketball and professional basketball, so ang maganda po ngayon is, kumbaga, hindi po ako magiging mag-isa sa pagtatanong at saka sa pagpipick ng brains ng ating mga speakers, because we have tonight one of the best sportscasters to ever, hit Philippine sports broadcasting. We have Jude here with us tonight, and he will be giving a piece of his mind para at least kumbaga kumbaga matulungan tayo sa ating show tonight. And at the same time, we also have our in-house sports writer for Pinoy Liga, Vince Wico, who's gonna share with us his thoughts about this. And although si Vince is from Lasal, true blue Lasal, true green Lasal, yan si Vince, but he's gonna give his thoughts, para ba magkakaroon tayo ngayon ng red, ng blue, tapos meron ding gigit ng green. So parang ganyan yung magiging so baka bigla mamaya yan, syempre hindi mo rin maiaalis yung yung magiging inputs ni Green, ni Lasal, because we cannot discount the fact that it's a very good college program as well. Not very good talaga, nandun in the upper echelons of the college programs here in the Philippines. So um wag nyo pong kumbaga imi-miss out yun yung magiging discussions namin. And at the same time, we're hoping that one of the best ano ba, Gilas Pilipinas stalwarts is with us tonight. It's gonna be Robert Bolick. Hopefully, he's gonna be with us. Makasama natin siya tonight. So, without further ado, so kumbaga, let me just welcome, and it's an honor for Pinoyliga for us to have Jude Torquato. Let me welcome to the studio Jude Torquato. I'm gonna put you in on the stream. Hi, Jude.
Hi, Benny. Welcome,
Hello.
everyone. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for asking me to join in. Excited ako dito sa topic kasi it's really where I started pretty much getting into sports here in the Philippines is college basketball. I think more specific yung sa UAAP, pero I think in general, college is really something closer to my heart because of the passion and just the way the players are very pure at heart when they play. So thank you for asking. Excited ako to be able to talk to I guess individuals who have great experience in building the best college basketball programs in the country.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jude. Thank you very much for give. Well, first and foremost, thank you very much for being here and for saying yes. Because just for the benefit of everyone who's listening, po, kami po ni Jude is magkano ko po yan kasama ko po yan sa isang basketball league called YBC. So we say our highs to our commissioner, Mr. Mike Limpe, who nako, I need to say hi to that wonderful guy. So hi Commissioner Mike Lee. Like I said, Jude, again, thank you very much. So
Yeah.
also, we'd like to welcome our writer, our Pinoy Liga writer, who's gonna be giving his thoughts into our discussions. Vince Wico. Hi, Vince. Hello.
Hi. Hi, Benny. Hi, Jude.
Uh,
Good evening sa mga viewers ng Bull by the Horn. And tonight's going to be very interesting. We're gonna have a conversation with yung two of the most successful, winningest programs in college basketball today. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting.
Yep. Yep, Vince. So thank you very much again. Si Vince kasi for the benefit of everyone is he's apart from being our writer for Pinoy Liga, he's also a writer for Business Mirror. Is that correct, Vince? Vince?
Yep. Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
And at the same time he's helping out on the PSL side. So talagang he's a true blue sportsman with interest on the volleyball and the basketball and the patafa side, right? Vince?
Yes.
Yeah, so kumbaga, as we move along, talaga magkakaroon din tayo ng mga discussions to about Patafa, about the other sports that we would have in the future. So stay tuned also with that. But we'd like to stay within the within the basketball discussion that we're gonna have, which I think is very very interesting as we move along. So guys, without further ado, kumbaga let's try to put in our special guest so Jude, let me give to you the honor of introducing this wonderful guy from Ateneo, so could you introduce this guy for us?
Well, I think a lot of people, if you follow college basketball and more specifically Ateneo basketball, he is one of the most familiar faces. He is probably one of the players within the Ateneo program in the last few years, at least a part of the group that kind of turned things around. I did go to Ateneo for a few years to take my master's, and I consider myself part of the dark ages in Ateneo. And he is one of the players that kind of shed some light and put some light into the dark ages of the Ateneo program. And I think as a player, he was a key cog in giving Ateneo the success that they've had. and I think he continued that success in the corporate world in moving to the MVP group as they started to support the Ateneo Blue Eagles. So I think everyone, without further ado, let's introduce Epok Quimpo.
Hi, Coach Q.
Hello,
Hello.
hello, hello,
Hi.
hello.
Hi,
Napakagandang
Coach Q.
introduction naman ni Kaboom Jude Torquato.
Coach Q, give your highs and hellos to our listeners, to our viewers.
Well, I'd like to say hi to everyone who's tuning in. Bull by the Horn, none other than your Benitez. It's going to be a good night tonight. Good talk. Basketball it is, and in this pandemic time of ours, this is just what we need. Something to not only feed our minds but also our basketball souls. Yeah, sige, umpisahan na natin. Okay na ba yon, Mr. Benny?
Ay, nako, Coach Q. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay na po palagi. Basta anything coming from Coach Q, overall, always okay, no? Then guys, I just want to make sure na apart from that sobrang gandang introduction that Jude had, and I have the pleasure of working with Coach Q, as part of the social media team of some of the MVP groups is interest in sports. And just to be honest, he's one of the most amiable guy, one of the most strategic guys, and one of the best person that you could ever talk to. Totoo niyan, matagal ko niligawan yan, 2 years. Bago ko na pa-oo yan sa mga talagang ginagawa ko for the MVP group na. But thank you very much, Coach Q, for being with us. Thank you very much.
Oh, and hi
Now,
also to Vince. Sorry, Vince.
to
Okay lang.
Lasal
Fine.
yan, ha? So, so meron tayong blue, red, and green. So, kumpletuhin ko na yung storya. So, to complete the story tonight, ako naman, ako na lang muna. I'll give myself the floor to introduce uh, my good friend, and siguro the community, the San Beda community owes a lot to this guy, similar to how the Ateneo community sees Coach Q as someone that really has sustained the winning tradition of both schools. So for San Beda, I have the pleasure of introducing to you guys our team manager, Mr. Jude Roque. One of the best person that you could talk. Tahimik lang ho yan. Pero when he speaks so malalim with deep thoughts and deep minds. So without further ado, kanina ko pa ginagamit yung further ado na yan. But para po sa inyong lahat, I'd like to introduce to you Coach Jude Roque. Hi, Coach.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Good evening sa inyo. Hello.
Yeah, hi coach. Thank you very much for being with us here. Nagbago na yung itsura mo, ha. Para ka ng yung napapanood ko sa History Channel, yung sa Alone, yung bansa ganun. So, is that the part of the pandemic? That's the pandemic look yata eh.
Yeah,
Pandemic
this
look
is the
na,
look.
coach.
Ito yung look ng hindi lumalabas ng 2 buwan.
Yeah,
So I'm
oo nga.
doing my part.
So okay guys, so nilalagay ko muna kayo sa isang lugar, So thank you again everyone for being with us here, So I'll start na lang the discussion, Jude, in terms of just really rolling some questions around. So how is the team right now, Coach Q? Kumusta ba ang Ateneo Blue Eagles considering that this is pandemic? Obviously, the whole basketball community is at a standstill. So how are they? In terms of preparation, if there would be any, are they preparing? Kumbaga, what's the mental health of each player, including the coaching staff? Kamusta na sila?
Preparation ba yung preparation for what?
Yes. Just keeping their
Well,
minds.
yeah, well, seriously speaking, the boys have been doing their workout from home. It's a daily routine that they have. Basically, the trainer, si Coach Andre, he gives out what to do for the day, and then the boys execute it. They have to record it, send it to the coaches. The coaches in return will give their views, no, whether kulang or sobra or okay na. So uh, it's very challenging given that, of course, we are used to going to the gym, having that big space. You have enough uh, space to move around. The gym is for you only, you know. So we also had to be creative. Some of the boys are carrying their 5-gallon mineral waters for weights, yung microwave nila, no? So then you have to jog around the car park of some of the condominiums just to be able to do some of your runs. So basically, from the time that the lockdown or the ECQ started, the quarantine, the boys are just at home doing their workouts. We've sent our groceries and even supplements to them just to be able just to make sure that we are maintaining the right shape, no? And of course, for some, we want them to get bigger. So, medyo ganun muna yung aming preparation in terms of the long term etong during the pandemic.
Okay. Coach Jude, how about you? How about on the San Beda side? So how's the Red Lions? Are they preparing as well? Because I think si Calvin, one of the best players that we have is right now in his hometown, doing well, resting there, and I think he's doing some of his homeworks in terms of preparing, So how is the rest of the team ba? In terms of just keeping their mind straight, physically, mentally, emotionally during this pandemic.
Yes, most of our players are also in their home provinces, but just like Ateneo, they have their home workouts that we sent them. No, yun, our trainer, si LA Ratio, has has been monitoring their progress, no, dun sa kanilang home workout. But I'm sure, just like my friend Epok here, we've been waiting for things to normalize. We really want to get back to the hard court and start our training. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that. It's too risky. But we are preparing for a possibility that we might be able to maybe start some sort of training by next month, hopefully. No, we're preparing for that. We're just telling the boys to check the requirements in their respective LGUs, how they can possibly come back here, and to check also if traveling is possible. Right now, I know most of them could not come back, but maybe in July or mid July, maybe that will be possible. So we're just in constant communication with them.
Yeah. Jude, go ahead if you have some questions for the speakers.
Yeah, sure,
Go
sure,
ahead.
sure. I mean, first of all, I did go to Ateneo, but I do have a lot of affinity to San Beda because my dad did graduate from San Beda, and he's very involved with some of the alumni as well, and then he watches. In fact, I think see Coach Jude is very close to my dad as well. Through the years. So I think in general, one of the things that I think makes college basketball programs successful is recruitment. I mean, I think
Yes.
the more you know, and the greater your reach as far as knowing where the talent is and what kind of talent is available. Yun yung I guess the cornerstone of building a program, because these are teenagers, and it's something that in many cases you really have to develop the talent, but you have to now look at kung ano man yung nakikita nyo that you can see within the 4 or 5 years that you'll get them. There'll be some a good contributor, right? So maybe like for both Coach Q and Coach Jude, how vast is the recruitment of each of the programs, and even like to the extent of how it is now. I mean, obviously, it's a lot different, and it's impossible to recruit. So how do you adjust, knowing that, hey, I mean, next year most likely there will be a season, and you will need new players to replace whoever's leaving. So how do you adjust now? But yeah, I guess through the years, you guys have had great recruitment, both within Manila, outside the Philippines, right? So ano yung I guess what's the mindset, and what's the system in place that you can share?
Coach Q?
Napunta nga sa akin bigla yung camera. Well, I'd like to hi Coach Jude. Hindi pala ako nakapag-hi sa'yo. Sabi kasi ni Benny, mamaya na. Well,
Hello, brother.
hello, brother. Well, first of all, no, before I go to recruitment, I just have to agree with Coach Jude that we really can't go back to. I really can't wait to go back to the court. Yet both of us agreed also even before that. Right now the priority is the safety, especially the health of the boys and our staff. No, when it comes to preparation, yes, we're trying to do our preparations, planning, and all that. Uh, and it involves even the bosses, no, from up there all the way down to our utilities, no. So medyo maraming logistics in terms of requirement. Now, given that situation, and with the question of how do we recruit and how do we somehow beef up what we have right now, it is, yes, it is challenging, but I think Coach Jude will agree that what we normally do every year is we scope the landscape not only in the Philippines but also our our friendlies or our coach who became our friends eventually around the world, whether that's in Canada, in US, both East and West, to some extent in Europe and Australia. So we've been going back and forth, looking for talents, looking for uh, kids who can adapt and be successful in the Philippines when it comes to both collegiate and of course looking forward to professional basketball. That being said, this year we already somehow had an idea on who is the up and coming players because we've seen it already in the past. So 3 years down the line, there's a grade 11 or grade 10 kid who's already has the potentials to play in Manila. So naka-earmark na sa amin yan. So nagkataon lang, and this is from Ateneo side, no, when we were trying to plan even 2 years, even 3 years down the line, this year is one of our priorities in terms of planning because the transition involves losing key players who are going up to the pros, which means we really plan for thirdly leaving the Nietos, even Adrian Wong, diba? When in fact there's also we also lost Isaac Go, and the previous years we lost some of other key players, not to mention Aaron Black, diba, who decided also to go pro. So that being the case, we already prepared heavily for this year. So in terms of the pandemic affecting our recruitment, yes, totoo yun. But also we've started years before in recruitment. So I'm sure you've seen some of the upcoming players during the Champions League. So nandun na kami, nalagay na namin sila sa sistema in such way that we wanted them to have that swift transition. Now, our problem is for the players that somehow we're still looking at and we want to bring in, maybe for this year, but can also work for the years to come. Because right now, di ba, nobody can fly out, nobody can fly in. Even the parents are reluctant. Some of them would probably, I'll just let my son stay here. The thing is, I'm sure Coach Jude will agree. We feel bad sometimes because they lose the year or the years that they should have played here. Number one, number two, that they should have gotten their citizenship, which eventually allows them to play for the national team. And number three, the just being here. Diba? Kasi it's not easy for players who came from the US or even from Australia to settle down, and it's a different environment, atmosphere altogether. So yun lang. So I think in that sense, getting new players which is not under the radar or not under that scope, yung nasa notes na namin ni Coach Jude, is gonna be more difficult rather than those players that we've already identified na pwede namin kunin. So yun ang challenge talaga this time around.
Thank you, Coach Q, for that very insightful takeaways. Ano, Coach
Parang
Jude, ikaw.
parang nahabaan ka sa sagot ko eh.
Oy, hindi. Ako pa.
Okay,
Nakita
okay.
mo ba ako? Parang
Just making sure.
nagkaroon pa ako agad ng bigote. Wala naman, di ba? So, hindi ako nagkaroon dito ng bigote. So, hindi mahaba. Di ba? Coach Jude Roque, your thoughts on that? Ano?
Well, first of all, for me, recruitment is the biggest success factor for college basketball. I believe most, if not all, of the champion teams were made up of really high quality players. No, yun, talent is really important for you to be successful in college basketball. So it is one area that we try to really be good at. But to be honest, it's very difficult to compete, especially nowadays. And I have to say this: that even San Beda has a difficult time competing in recruiting, especially blue chip players in Metro Manila. Because let's face it, if you ask those kids, most of them prefer to play in the UAAP. So it's quite a challenge. That's why what I do is I really try to go out of NCR, try to connect with other coaches like what Coach Epok said. Try to expand the network so that you if you can't recruit the Metro Manila top high school players, then you at least get a chance with the top players in the provinces, no. And we're lucky to have guys like Calvin Octana, JB Bayo. I mean, these guys, they were not really exposed before. They were not very popular before when they were in high school. But somehow we saw them to be. They have some potential. They're tall. They're athletic. So we recruited them. No, kasi height is might. That's the first thing you normally look at when a kid has height. Pag mga 6'3" and higher, then usually you become interested in them. So that's what we do. However, this year I have to say I think we're very lucky in San Beda because we were able to recruit our top high schools from our own high school team. No, that doesn't happen every time. If you
True.
remember, di ba? Even
Totoo.
during the time of JV Mocon,
True.
during his time, he wasn't the best player in the team. It was
Arvin.
Arvin Tolentino. It was um, uh,
Evan? Hindi ba? Hindi.
Karakot,
Hindi sila
Andre Karakot.
Andrei Karakot.
Di ba?
Karakot, yes.
Yeah, Diputado. They were
Yes,
the ano
correct.
they were the bigger names. But But this year, fortunately, we were able to get the big names
The blue chips.
from our own high school team. So this is a special year. It's not every year that we experience this, because it's even our own players from our own high school. We have a hard time getting them because, especially if they have offers from UAAP schools. I mean, just to be honest, no, that's
True.
really a one challenge for us.
Agree ako doon,
Yun.
coach, ano. True yan, ano. And I have to say this, ano, guys, ano, that there is a strategy pala per ano, no, there's no canned approach really in ano, no, in getting talents, like kunyari with Coach Jude, ano. Tama niya. So ang kanyang hurdle is kumbaga UAAP is preferred, so he goes outside, ano. Coach Q naman on his part, ano, he's also looking outside the country for talents, ano. Kasi kumbaga baka mamaya siyempre, yung piece of the NCR blue chip pie, pinaghahatian din niya ng ibang NCAA teams. You're looking at the FEUs of the world, you're looking at the USTs and all of these teams. Ano. So, okay, I'm getting that insight already about talent acquisition. Coaches, can you give us some of the war stories in terms of this talent acquisition that you guys had? Let's say, what were the most challenging, siguro without giving so much information, but what were the most challenging talent recruits that you have in kumbaga going outside, siguro what were those great lengths of talents that you have to go through, no, para lang makuha siya, mailagay siya sa Ateneo at saka sa San Beda. Coach Q, let's start with you. Pok.
Benny, naputol eh.
O sige, sabihin ko
Naputol
ulit,
yung,
no.
ano tanong mo ulit?
Okay, ulitin ko, no,
Oo.
coach. It's more about what are the war stories, what were the great lengths na para bang you have to go to para sa isang talent. Kumbaga, meron ka ba talagang mga experiences na para bang this X talent is too much of a talent for me na hindi ko gagawin ng lahat para dito, no? Siguro ano yung pinakamalayo mo napuntahan para sa isang magaling na player. All of these stories, ano, we're interested to understand that psyche.
Like, I think it's given that we look outside, but also we give value to our high school team and the high school program. And I agree with Coach Jude that sometimes there's a challenge also of keeping them within your school. No, in terms of if you look at distance, yes, we have players as far as from New Zealand. No? So kung distance ang pag-uusapan. In terms of years, I think there are two or three players that we spent a lot of time looking into him, his development, and at the same time in getting him, no, to be able to convince him to study in Ateneo. One of which is Rafi Verano. We saw him when he was just, I think, in grade 10, 3 years down the line. No, we saw him develop every year. We go to his games every year. We monitor his development. Even the coaches, we talk to them. The other one is actually SJ. SJ Belangel. Before he joined Ateneo High School, we already saw him play in Iloilo and Bacolod. So we had to convince him to go to Manila, study in Ateneo, and for the longest time he's been with the program and he's doing really well. The latest example Dwight Ramos is gonna be an incoming rookie this year or next year AP season. He already sat for a year for his residency. Dwight Ramos is a Division One caliber. Went to Cal State Fullerton, and then he transferred to Cal Poly, and now he decided to go to finally to Manila and join the program, the Ateneo program. So, in terms of player selection, it's never gonna be easy. There are a lot of factors, not only because they're scoring 50 points per game or grabbing 20 rebounds. Through the years, it's good that, even Coach Jude, we were coaches once in our lives, no? So we also look at the attitude. We it is a game changer if you cannot find that real attitude. Number three, uh, we look for the energy, 'di ba? Yung bata ba may energy ba 'yan? Kaya ba niya mag-aral? Kaya ba niya maglaro? Or medyo slack off ba siya? Or gusto lang niya maglaro? 'Di ba? So there are so many factors that you have to look at. And of course, you have to look at the family. Was he brought up in a way that somehow complements how you want your students to be, 'di ba? We we are trying to put up a program wherein we also want to give value to the people who served it, 'di ba? So for example, you had the nietos, the asistos, the pesomal. We have the 5 feet before. So the tradition is there, and we want to protect it as much as possible. So we also look at the players that we're bringing uh, in so much so that they can represent not only the school but also the team, 'di ba? Kung sino talaga or ano talaga yung kahalagahan ng pagiging isang Ateneo basketball player. And we don't want to shortchange any of our former players, even our former people who manage the team, whether that's Paulo, that's mga dati pa, no? And that's how that's why it's not easy peasy, eh. It's not oy magaling siya, sige we'll get him. 'Di ba? Napakadaming factors, eh. Oy, stand out to. Oy, 'di ba? Tapos pagdating doon, 'di ba? Hindi naman pala team player or hindi naman pala siya at home. So
Agree.
we,
Agree.
we, it's it's gonna be different every player. It's gonna be a scenario which in you will be placed in, but at the same time it's a scenario which doesn't have this is the 5 steps to recruiting. Hindi
Okay.
walang gano'n, eh, talagang kailangan mo silang makilala.
Agree. Coach Jude, your thoughts on Great Lengths? Ano, what are the type of mga aktibidades ba, or mga unique moments for you when you were recruiting? Para bang mga war stories mo, yung in on ground stories mo in recruitment, ano?
Well, madami din, no? But I would say probably the most challenging si James Canlas. Kasi,
Okay.
si James, when we first saw him here sa NBTC, a lot of schools became interested in him. But during the time, he wasn't interested in taking his college here. No? Kasi may mga ano siya eh, he had offers sa Division 1. However, I think he had problems getting into their program because he didn't reach the grade, yung minimum grade. So I found out about it, but he was still bent on entering a Division 1 school. So what he did, sa Canada kasi, they have this program where they can extend their high school for one more year. No? So in preparation for the following year. So ako nagtiyaga ako. I waited for a year. I visited him in Toronto and met his family. Tapos even when the first time I went there, parang he it was pretty clear to me that he wasn't interested at all. Okay lang, I kept communicating. And then dumating na yun the following year. I think he had a change of mind, no? He had a change of heart na he started to consider studying in the Philippines.
Okay.
So since I kept yung communication, siguro tama-tama when he decided I better try the Philippines. I might have, a better chance of becoming somebody big in the Philippines as opposed to in the States. And I was right there when it happened, when he suddenly changed his mind. So swerte rin sa nadaan din sa tiyaga. And then what I did was I immediately went there to talk
Okay.
to the family again, no? Kasi yung mom niya is Filipino, yung mom niya, Kapampangan. And then I also met the sister. It was quite a challenge because yun na nga, it took me almost 2 years to be able to get his nod to play
Agree.
for us. Plus there was also a challenge with his papers kasi at the time hindi pa siya dual eh. Canadian pa lang siya. So it was quite a process also, a long process. Which
Agree.
was why during his first year with us, he couldn't play. No, he had to wait for 1 year because we had to process his citizenship. So I guess yun na yung pinaka-challenging in terms of recruitment for me.
Thank you, Coach Jude. Guys, Jude, Vince. Yeah, go ahead, Vince. Jude.
Yeah, ako isang question lang yung what about the opposite where meron kayong player na hindi ganun ka highly heralded o you didn't have a difficulty in recruiting somebody because not a lot of schools wanted to get that player, but the player development was just so good and he all of a sudden, or at least in your eyes, oh wow, this player is better than we thought. I mean, nobody knew that ganito pala yung puso niya, ganito pala yung improvement na pwede niyang magawa. And by the time that he finished with the program, he had so much impact compared to the amount of recruitment that you guys had on him.
Coach Q.
Oo nga, sa akin na naman tumapat eh. I guess I guess Coach Jude. It was evident in the program when the transition from Coach Bo to Coach Tab happened. No? Coach Bo at that time, when I was with him, we wanted all the outstanding high school players with us. No, and I think it was Coach Judo mentioned that before it was Arvin and Mokon, and we chose Arvin, and then we got Kani. No, unfortunately, it was rough times for them. So it didn't work out, and then we were what, 7 players less in the program. So it was really challenging on our part, and I think one of the stories that I can share was with the twins. No, that time kasi that was the year after the rookie year of Arvin, which he turned out to be rookie of the year, and then we were welcoming the twins to the seniors, to the college program. And then I vividly remember telling his dad that Mike 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 will do well in the team, and then he told me, how can that happen? Arvin is playing for 4 more years. So I told him, because who's gonna back Arvin up, or maybe he Arvin is gonna back up Mike, and then he started laughing. So at that time, it was Mike was actually a shoe in for Coach Bo. I think, yes, because of the 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 players, the positions. No, so because we had Kani, we had Pingoy. So now, what about Matt? Oh, Matt, he really needs to work harder because Nandun si Pinggoy, nandun si Kani, and then of course, transition Kiefer yan eh. So ang daming ano pa si Nico, sorry, Nico Elorde. So ang daba nung pila niya. So I told him really si Matt really needs to work his ass off. Talagang kailangan niya ipakita na kaya niya at worthy to be in the lineup siya. And you know, from the time that they joined practice, no questions about the effort. Talagang they do extra work. They really practice hard. Even when they go home, they do extra shooting secretly. No, it it turned out eventually that Matt was moving up in terms of the roster. So the transition came. Coach Tab went in, and right away he saw how the work the work ethic of Matt, no, that he doesn't back down to anyone. He will be he will try to distribute the ball. It's not me who's gonna give you 20 point, production on a daily basis, but he will make sure that he controls the five on the court, and he will dictate the tempo. He will make smart choices, and yun, ganun na nangyari. And, you know, di ba nga dati may Big Mike, wala naman kay Matt na moniker nung nagbabatang Gilas kasi si Mike yung kilala. Eh ngayon, di ba, moving up, yan, nag-draft sila, and then Matt started to mature. He saw something, and I think it was because of Coach Tab. He saw another level of the game. He understood it in a way that coaches want you to look at it. Normally kasi may yan yung challenge ng coaches sa kanang point guards eh. Yung gusto ng coach hindi ma-translate ng point guard and vice versa. So we were confident even after their collegiate career that they, especially the guards, no, you cannot question the point guards. Ganun lang yun. Eh. Buti kami ni Coach Jude, point guard kami. So, so the leadership is there. What they want to do is there. And they will always have that voice na pwedeng magpatakbo ng team. At yan yung hindi namin nakita ever, even when we were recruiting. Because during high school, Matt was a scoring two guard. Diba? Hindi naman siya legit point guard eh. And then the transition was there, and sabi nga ni Coach Jude, diba, ano yung unti-unti na nag-develop sa kanya, even his long range shot, diba? Dati puro break jump yan, spin, floater. So ngayon, may tumitira na siya ng 3 points, nabipasa na siya ng bola, gumagamit siya ng pick and roll. At more than that, kaya niyang patakbo ng team. And for Coach Tab and his system, that is very, very important. Kung hindi mo kaya yung team mo, kung questioning ka ng teammates mo, point guard ka, tapos hindi mo sila makontrol, hindi ka effective. Ganun kasimple yun. You should have the authority on the floor.
As a point guard, ano? As a point
As a
guard.
point guard.
Thanks,
So,
Poca.
that's an example.
Thanks, Jude. Coach Jude. Jude T. You want the inputs of Coach Jude Roque on that? Coach Jude.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if he has any stories, kasi those are nice stories to have players develop while they are in the program, right? Because it's great to get the best players out of high school, but there are some players that were not highly heralded, and then that develop sila, and that's a lot of heart and hard work.
Well, I have a very good example. I think it's no secret to everybody that Robert Bolick transferred to us. He actually tried out with our team because he was demoted to Team B by LaSalle. And he wasn't happy being at Team B, so he decided to try out with us. I think he also tried out with Ateneo and with UP. But when he came to us kasi Baser was playing his last year, Baser Amer. So he probably saw that opportunity that after Baser, he would be in a very good position to perhaps be the starting point guard or starting off guard. So so that happened in 2016 after a 1 year residency. He played for us. He did very well in his first year, but it was in his second year when Coach Boyet came in. I guess he fit the system of Coach Boyet perfectly. Eh. Si Coach Boyet kasi during that time he ran a lot of pick and roll
Pick and roll.
plays. Eh,
Horns.
si Bolik is such a great pick and roll user. No,
Correct.
he's very smart. Eh. He can read the defense very well. He's a great passer. He can penetrate and he can shoot from the outside. So nagtugma. He was a perfect fit for the system of Coach Boyet. And because of that, after 1 year, he became one of the best players in college basketball. He won the PBA D League MVP in 2017, and then eventually he led us to a championship. So yun, coming from a Team B player to becoming one of the best in college basketball, it's one of the best stories from yun ganon, ano, from, you know, a lot of these guys are very talented. No, I can understand why Lasal put him into Team B is because Lasal is one of the best also in recruitment. So every year, great talent come in. So if you don't perform very well, usually talaga you'll end up in the Team B. No, but if you really compete, and I guess I don't know what Robert was during that time. Maybe he wasn't as passionate as he is now. But when he came to us, he was very determined. Eh. He had a mission, and he really worked very hard every day. So I guess this is the reason why he is the Robert Poliki is today because of that great attitude that he showed. I'm not sure if it was the same attitude when he came to LaSalle. Maybe not because he was very young. He came from high school. But the Robert Pollock we're seeing today was the Robert Pollock that we saw, especially on his second year with us. And he played 3 years with us, and he won three championships with us. So
Agree
there.
ako dyan. Ano. Thank you very much, Coach Jude, for that. Ano. Siguro I want Vince to chime in because there's a Lasal
Yeah.
angle on this. Ano. And syempre, I'm gonna speak about transfer. Ano. Can you talk about that, Vince? Ano? And siguro, talk about, walk us through on certain questions about transfers. Ano. And then how, how our coaches here and managers here deal with that. Ano. Sige, I'm gonna give the floor to you, Vince. Ano.
Well, honestly, I don't know the whole story about Robert's situation and why he transferred, but that's how college basketball is, and I think that's human nature. That if you're in a situation that doesn't work for you, that's not working for you, you find another situation where that's going to work for you, and you think you're going to be utilized. So I don't know the whole story. I don't know the whole
Okay.
story about Robert's situation, but I'm very happy he did well in San Beda because I was very happy when he was recruited, but I was happier when he did well in San Beda because he's fearless. That kid, walang takot yung batang yan eh. He's fearless. When I saw him play, that when that Phil Oil game against LaSalle, I'm sure Coach Jude knows this. That dagger that he knocked down against LaSalle, um, that finals game, I think it was 2 years ago, 2018. I think that was 2018. That dagger that Robert knocked down against La Salle, that was in the finals. As heartbreaking as that was, it was happy to see him do that. His accomplishments also. So I'm very happy for the kid. I'm very happy for the young man, and I'm happy he won titles with San Beda, and and I wish him a lot of luck and success in the
Yeah.
PBA as a professional.
Yeah, thanks Vince for that. And let me chime in on that transfer aspect ano. Jude Jude T, siguro no I'll ask the question to our speakers ano. What were those difficult transfers ano? Cuz transfer from one school to another will always be a part of that collegiate team manager life for you ano. Can you share with us some of those in a way heartbreaking transfers? Yung mga tipong mga what ifs nyo, what if he didn't transfer ano? Can you share with us some of those stories on that
Ako
aspect?
hands down,
Go
hands
ahead,
down.
Jude.
During my time, it was BJ Manalo. Uh,
Oh,
High school to the Lasal program. Hands down, that was the most
Talk
talked
about
about transfer. I mean, BJ, second year high school pa lang siya, grade 10 pa lang. I mean, he was already
recruited.
uh, phenom. Yeah, I mean, he was a phenom.
yeah.
And I guess what made the difference was that because he went to Ateneo, he was so high profile. Diba? So sobrang high profile, and Ateneo was just on its way up, right? So they needed as much talent as possible, and I think when that happened, it kind of shocked the whole I guess the whole system of just the way things were done, because I think for the longest time, a lot of the Ateneo players from high school, automatic siya na pupunta, they were gonna be playing for the college team as well. So when that happened for me, yun yung at least in my time. I mean, there's a lot of other transfers even as we speak. From Lasal to UP and from the different schools. With Arvin and Pingoy from Ateneo from a few years back. So palagi siyang nangyayari. But
Agree.
but there are high profile transfers more than others. And ako, I mean, I haven't done a lot of commentating in a while, but yun, natatandaan ko talaga. I mean, galit na galit yung Ateneo community uh, with what happened. And I think, and I guess I guess it's water under the bridge now.
Yeah.
But it might have started like a pattern
Yeah.
where a lot of players did go, because it wasn't like that was the first time. I mean, like I think even Zobel had the season twins before that, play for Ateneo after playing for Zobel. It was like hindi naman siya first time. It's just that the high profile of nature of DJ Manalo at the time just made it such a big controversy.
Big controversy, yeah. Coach Q, what were your biggest heartbreaks in terms of transfer? Well, who were those transfers talaga that you consider as the biggest what if for Ateneo? Siguro, yon,
Well, I want to add additional information dun
BJ.
kay Jude. Oh, kay BJ.
Yes, sir.
While it was heartbreaking for many, it was actually an opportunity for me that time. I was waiting for before kasi just to give you a background, and Jude knows this. Uh, the Ateneo team, parang when you're part of it, parang it's rare that someone will go out and then you somebody will replace him. It's actually, let's say you're in the team na first year, yung batch na yon will go on. So for a newcomer, you really have to break barriers, di ba? You really have to outshine, outplay the veterans or the guys who are there na. So that time, uh, everyone was waiting for BJ. Sabi ko, nako, if BJ makes it to the team, hindi na ako aabot. Kasi it's the same position. It's the only position that I can play, di ba? So, when BJ transferred, sabi ko, nako, may chance na ako. So dinagdag ko lang yun sa kwento. But now, I think it's while I agree with Vince that sometimes it's natural that you find that space or that school for you which satisfies whether or not whether, or both your academic and your ability to play basketball. Uh, Nowadays, it has become parang ordinary case eh. Diba? You have big names transferring, you have unfortunately, diba, I think a week ago you saw in the news that some of the schools, diba, had to stop their athletic program or sports program, and they lost players and they transferred to different schools, no. uh Malungkot, pero yun nga, for someone who's gonna arrange the transfer, uh it's ano eh, it's difficult because you're not only putting in players that are already, in this case, have experience in collegiate basketball, but we have to be careful that we're putting in also the right apples together with the apples that you have. Di ba? Hindi porket, let's say, outstanding, again, maybe dominating a tournament, mas madali yung transfer niya. Hindi. Lahat yan may proseso. It involves the school heavily. It involves uh, the coaching staff. Everyone votes on it. Uh, ang daming ano eh, ang daming pieces, no? And of course, you also have to look at the motive of the transfer. Is it just because you want to play? Is it just because uh, you were neglected by the school where you're from? 'Di ba? Ano ba yung mga rason? Ano ba yung ano ba yung mga dahilan kung bakit ka lilipat or bakit ka mag-Ateneo? So maraming ganun, and sometimes, unfortunately also, as much as you want to help players and as much as you want to have them on board, hindi rin lahat ng players para sa programa mo. Di ba? And you have to explain it in a way that you don't, break their dreams. Kasi lahat yan may mga pangarap, lahat yan may gustong maabot. Kaya sa akin, transferees are very difficult.
Okay.
It's
Can you can
moving
you
on
can
this.
you give us one of those biggest heartbreaks, Pok, that you could ever think of? Para
BJ
bang
Manalo.
para sa akin win ako, di ba? Parang ganun. PJ Manalo. Okay, okay. Sige. O, Coach Jude, ikaw, siguro, just tell us, can you share with us those biggest heartbreak transfers that you could ever think? Is it recent? Is it a few years past? Ano, marami eh, di ba? With San Beda, no? So, share it with us, Coach Jude.
Um, well, transferring from our program to another program in college, there's not too many. No, of course, there's the recent one, Evan Nele, who transferred to LaSalle. But other than him, it's the other way around. It's players usually from high school. They were recruited by a UAAP school, and then after 1 or 2 years, they transferred to us. So, for example, Art De La Cruz, Dan Sara, Evan Ludovice, who transferred from NU. These were our former high school players, but they were recruited by UAAP schools. But for some reason, they opted to return to us in college. So we had a lot of cases like that. But in terms of from our program transferring to another program, uh, without being, voluntarily released, I think it's only Evan Nele. So yeah, that's also a difficult transition for us because Evan was one of our best players last year. So now we're trying to find a replacement. It's not easy. It's very difficult to find a replacement in the same caliber as Evan Nele. But we're trying. I'm still trying. I mean, during this lockdown, I've been looking at videotapes of provincial tournaments, hoping to stumble upon a gem that can be a good replacement for Evan. But I'm still looking.
Coach, kaya ba na pumasok
Bawal
na
ka
isang
mag-apply,
42
Benny.
year
Benny, bawal ka
Hindi kay
mag-apply.
yun nga eh.
Over-age
Gusto
ka
ko
na.
nga sabihin kay Coach
Just to
Jude
make sure,
na
you can join all the Pinoyliga tournaments, but hindi ka na pwede mag-tryouts. I'm sorry, just put it on record.
Kasi sinasabi ko baka daw pwede. 42 years old, magaling naman ako mag-dribble. Left and right na rin ako ngayon, coach. So baka pwede sa joke lang. Okay.
Hindi yun,
mga,
hindi yun
mga,
ang kinakatakot ko, Benny. Hindi yun ang kinakatakot ko. Kung ano maturo mo sa mga players, doon ako natatakot.
ikaw talaga, coach. Ewan ko ba sa'yo? Basta ako, pupunta naman ako sa discussion na to. No? Vince, I'll talk to you about this. Ano? I'm gonna talk to you about Benimbala. I'm gonna talk to you about all of these recruits that you had na Phil Foreign, ano. Can you tell us the impact of the Phil Foreign athletes on the Lasal side? And before I segue to the impact of Phil Foreign athletes, Phil Foreign student athletes to the Ateneo and to the San Beda program. Sige, go ahead, Vince.
Well, I'm sure yung infusion of Phil foreign athletes improve the quality of practices of all college teams because you have quote unquote outsiders coming in. You know, may knowledge sila, may dagdag na knowledge from the States, from Australia, from Canada. So I'm sure practices became more competitive because you had homegrown players who are trying to keep their slot, trying to keep their job. And then you have these guys coming in, especially from outside of the Philippines, who are trying to also compete for a slot on the team. So I think, in my opinion, the quality of practices improved among the teams, and also the quality of the games in both the NCAA and the UAAP improved with the onset of these Phil foreign players because they bring in knowledge, and then yung knowledge na yan, that knowledge gets transferred to their local teammates, to the coaches, to the trainers. So may transfer yan, may nanalaman sila siguro na let's say galing sa the US, sa Canada, and ito ay tinuturo nila sa mga teammates nila, sinasabi sa mga coaches, uy, may alam mo kung ganito, sinasabi sa trainers. So knowledge ang dala nila na coming from other countries that they impart, that they mga best practices siguro na they got from other countries. So I'm guessing among San Beda and Ateneo, the influx of these Phil foreign athletes, made practices more competitive, made the quality of their practices higher, and in general, yung college games natin sa UAP and sa NC, mas umangat yung quality ng games.
Yeah. Jude T, your thoughts on Phil Foreign athletes before we go to our speakers?
Sure. I think beyond the knowledge, I think the number one reason why we try to get foreign athletes is because of the talent, right? Because I think as Filipinos, I think the technology and the knowledge and how we go about our basketball is probably as good as any other country. Because we just love basketball so much, we know so much basketball, right? And I think if we're not the best, we're one of the best as far as knowledge in basketball, from the fans to the coaches to the players. It's just that the talent level, you can't teach height, you can't teach. Sometimes people just have the genetic makeup that make them jump higher, that make them run faster, right? So I do think that these foreigners who are playing in collegiate basketball, I think the main reason they play is because of the talent. It's really to upgrade the overall talent pool of the team, not necessarily knowledge. I think for knowledge, it's more coaching staff, it's more training, physically, all those things, right? But as far as players is concerned, I don't think you'll get a lot of foreign players that are below 6 feet, that are not that fast. You know what I mean? I mean, it's always going to be the ones that are tall and big and strong, things that aren't normal in a a Filipino player. So
Right.
I do think I think that's really the for me. If I was running a team in college, that would be my main consideration. Is really the potential talent. Of course, attitude matters, but the talent level is really what will make a difference.
Right, right. I'm gonna give this to Coach Q now, and I'd like to ask lang Coach Q, what's the impact of field foreign athletes to the Ateneo program? Is it a conscious effort to really on a yearly basis, apart from the local talent acquisition, you're also on the lookout for field foreign athletes? Na para ba may pipeline ba tayong sinusunod dyan? What type of thought process are you putting in on that?
Yeah, well, like what I mentioned earlier, no, it has been a sort of a relationship with the coaches abroad, in the different regions, no, and that relations, as a result of going back and forth, uh, we are informed of the players that are somehow excelling. No, in terms of on another approach, uh, being a collegiate team, you also get emails of field foreigners trying to go to Manila and join your team or your school, no? So two-way yan eh. Hindi lang naman kami yung lumalabas to look out for players, no, or for field foreign players. But first, I have to agree with Jude that in terms of physique, in terms of strength, and also at a certain extent, training, uh, medyo may makikita ka talagang outstanding outside, no? Uh, but at the end of the day, and I guess it applies to everyone, no? It's not because they are feel foreign, that's why we're getting them. It's part of the program that they can facilitate whatever skills they have, that the coaches look at them and say, oh, he can be effective with us or not. Diba? We can get a 7-5, but if he cannot run the sets, wala rin yun. We can get a speedy point guard, pero if all he does is running, then wala rin siyang magagawang setup or na place. Diba? So, uh, it's and to be honest, marami rin you have to turn it down. Um, we we organize tryouts abroad out of X number, just like here in Manila. You only get one, two, tapos hindi pa sure yon, 'di ba? So talagang it's never easy recruiting. But at the same time, it helps, especially when you get
Mhm.
someone who's also
Internet
motivated,
connection. Internet connection.
who's also motivated.
Internet.
Yun ang yun ang
Pok.
pare.
Hi, Pok. Hi, Coach.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can. We
Yeah,
can. We
yeah,
can.
yeah.
You
Ano,
are back live.
sorry. So yun.
Game.
So iba rin yung
Okay.
motivation that was
Yan.
coming from the
Sige
US
lang.
going here, di ba? They grew up there, but of course, the parents
Yes.
especially, they can trace their roots here. Eh. So sila rin mismo, ano bang meron sa Pilipinas? And then when they see, and as Jude mentioned a while ago, kung how we are as a basketball country, doon sila na-excite. Ay, celebrity pala kagad. Ay, fuel oil pa lang, hinaharang yung mga players, di ba? Nagpapakilala yung mga students, and there are fans also. And for them, it's something new, but at the same time, yun yung nag-eengganyo sila sa kanila to work harder and to be able to stay here in Manila, because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's really challenging to bring 18-year-olds here who live in Manila without their parents. Diba? And that's what we have to also
Agree.
realize. Uh, so
Agree.
overall,
Agree.
if we get the cream of the crop, introduce them to Philippine basketball early on, 'di ba, here in Manila, whether they go UAP, NCAA, or elsewhere, no, uh, at the end of the day, they have what it takes to be part of the team and part of the tournament or the league. So,
At the
wala,
end, yeah.
yeah, bonus na lang kung 'di ba mala LeBron James yung nakuha natin, 'di ba? Yung sobrang
Agree,
athletic,
agree,
sobrang,
agree. Agree, agree. Ako punta ako kay Coach Jude Roque because a big chunk of our success, no, Coach Jude, with San Beda will always be kumbaga aligned with how we become we develop yung bang field foreign talents, So siguro give us a thought process in terms of that, Coach Jude, on the field foreign athletes that's has become a part of San Beda basketball already. Eh.
Yes. But before I answer that, Benny, I forgot to
Mm-mm.
mention do sa earlier question. Si Ben Adamos nga pala, I forgot because it was what 3 or 4 years ago. Ben Adamos transferred to Perpetual. So that was also tough on me because I was the one who got Ben. And then after
Recruited.
Ben,
I see.
yes, after Ben, it was William Navarro, no, to Ateneo. But the Williams case is different. Um, we were happy for him to get a spot in Ateneo because during his time he was playing with the same position as
Okay.
JV Mocon, JV Mocon and Calvin of Tana. So it was quite a tough competition for him in terms of his position. So
Yeah, Coach
and
Jude, go ahead.
during yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, Coach Jude, go ahead.
And
Yeah,
during
go
that
ahead.
time, Ateneo needed more height kasi nga they had
Coach
to
Jude?
let go of hello?
Yeah, go ahead,
Hello.
Coach Jude. Sige. Yeah.
Okay. So Ateneo was in a lookout for big forwards which he was playing parang he was a stretch four eh. So
Correct, correct.
it was a perfect opportunity for William. So yun yung nangyari. Now, about the
Correct, correct.
foreign players, um, ako my attitude in recruiting field foreign players is they'd have to be a game changer. Why? Because we have enough homegrown talents. Eh. We have so many great players here, and of course, it's more expensive to recruit field foreign players, di ba? Kasi you'd have to spend for their airfare, yung mga ganyan, and plus the change of culture, di ba? It's going to be a challenge when they get here. So as much as possible, unless the candidate is in my opinion a game changer or somebody who can really help our program that we cannot find the characteristics he has with other candidates. That's the only time we really get these field foreign players. No? So, for example, James Canlas or Davon Pats, so they have this special qualities. They're athletic. They have certain advantages that can help us that we can use. So that's the only time that we really. But like what Coach Epok said, every year since we get the opportunity to travel to train outside the country, and in most cases, wherever we train, there's a big Filipino community there. So we might as well hold tryouts. So, and then, like what
Correct.
you said, dozens really come to our tryouts. So we have like 30 to 50 players wanting to try out, but yun na nga, we have to really pick a special talent, somebody whom we cannot find here, or somebody who has the height kasi height, it's very difficult to get players with height eh. So if you find a 6'6" guy, Filipino American or Filipino Canadian, then even if he's not very talented, you tend to gamble on this guy because you might not be able to get the same
To develop
tall
here.
players here. Oo. So that's the way we
To
approach.
develop.
But every year we hold tryouts kasi we might stumble upon 'di ba somebody like James Canlas or Davon Pats eh. Sayang din eh. Like Davon Pats, we discovered him because he tried
Hmm.
out. 'Di ba? We never
So
heard
from
about
tryout.
Davon eh. Oo, so sometimes may tsamba na ganun na somebody with his caliber bigla nag-try out, 'di ba? So this is the reason why when we get the opportunity, we really hold tryouts. 'Yun.
Agree ako doon Coach
Yeah.
Coach Jude, you mentioned about yung travel abroad cause that's actually if I may is a privilege of a team that would probably be supported by a corporate backing Jude D, thoughts on corporate backing and how essential it is to our own topic, which is really creating a winning program cause siguro kasi kausap ko si Vince Santos yung ating kaibigan from MVPSF I got to know him very recently, and he was talking about the Dark Eagles. So si Coach Q at saka si Jude T would understand the Dark Eagles eh.
Dark
So kumbaga
Ages.
yan Oo, yan yung 90s kasi kami sa San Beda, alam naman ni Coach Jude to, noong 90s hindi naman kami nanalo din, 'di ba? So kumbaga, parehas lang tayo. Tapos ang nananalo noon sila Vince noong 90s, so Lasal 'yon, 'di ba? So ang mangyari is kumbaga, meron tayong backstories noong 90s na hindi naman talaga tayo mga winner sa seniors, 'di ba? Pero juniors iba usapan. So ang mangyari is noong 2000 nagbago lahat And Jude T, dip in on thoughts about corporate backing. How essential it is to our subject of really having a winning program for college. Give us your thoughts.
Sure, sure. That before I start, you mentioned nga si Vince Santos during the Dark Ages. I mean, I don't know if some people know this, but I actually was part of the training team of Ateneo during those Dark Ages. So just to give you the talent level that I had, Ateneo was already bad, and I couldn't even make the team A. So anyway, Vince was part of that team. I mean, he was one of the better players on that team. Basketball, hindi football.
Di
And he
football.
was already, so because he's a very good
Multi.
with both.
Yeah.
And that's sila Epok changed all that when they came in after after those dark ages. In
After
any case,
4
I think um, actually, as far as corporate backing, I do think na more than the money, I think it's more on the attitude and the expectations, right? And the culture that you create as as a backer and as a support. Kasi you can put as much money as possible, but if you don't create a winning culture across the board, I don't think the kind of success experienced by both San Beda and Ateneo, and I think it goes to show really just the culture that has been created through these years that that supported the resources, right? Because resources definitely is important, but kung tutusin lang, iniisipin mo, there are other teams who have just as much resources, especially in the last 5 to 10 years, right? Especially,
Agree.
in fact, especially in the UAAP. The UAAP, it's not just Ateneo who's had a lot of resources, right? So I think it's the culture that you create. It's the people around the players. It's the people who recruit. It's the coaching staff. It's the trainers. It's really the overall system in place, and even above that, right? I think it's just the passion of the people who do give those resources also make a big difference in doing that. And I think, and I'm sure see Epok and Coach Jude will have their take on it because they experience it every day. But actually, ang question ko is kung merong internal rivalry, because I think
Ah!
people who follow basketball know that the MVP group does support both programs, and I think that is one of the main reasons why the success of both programs is prevalent because of the resources and the support. and the culture that was created for both, right? And kasasabi lang ni Coach Jude na si Will was taken from one school to the other, right? I mean, so there has to be some sort of internal discussion na nangyayari dyan because it's all, you know, under the same umbrella, right? And I'm sure that's not the last time it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Coach Q immediately. Coach Q, wag kang magpaka-cute dyan. Magpapaka-ano ka na, nandiyan na naman yung dimples mo eh.
And then I totally agree with the Jude. Uh, the backing, especially our big boss MVP, we are very much thankful, no, for the resources, but more so the leadership. No? Coach Jude will agree that he's a hands-on boss. Not only will he look at your practice plan or training plan, he will also look at the flights that you're taking. So just to give you an example on how hands-on he is. He also knows, if not all, everyone, including the coaches and assistant coaches. So medyo ganon klase ang boss. But of course, just because you have the resources doesn't mean it's going to be easy. No, he also expects the team to perform, to excel in all levels. So there are expectations also that, you know, everyone tries to reach. Now, yung intriguing question ni Benny, uh, intriguing question. You know, at the end of the day, we'd like to believe that we are serving our school. Diba? You're
Okay.
serving your alma mater. You're trying to help the coaching staff, your head coach, to perform the best that he can do, diba? And like what's been happening for the past years, the tendency is you lose players, you'll add players, you'll lose some players that are like William Navarro, and it's true, no? He transferred to us, and because it's the position is full. Uh, there are no tug of war, but there's always communication. Diba? Kasi like for example, we also lost some players, but it was a discussion that I had with Coach Jude. Like for example, for Rodriguez, for Clint, diba?
Oh,
So
Clint
we lost
Dolinguez. Yes, yes.
yeah, and si Clint was highly recruited also by the other schools. Not for him to choose San Beda over UAP schools, it contradicts to what we're saying kanina, di ba? That they want to go to UAP. But at the same time, when Clint went to San Beda and spoke to Coach Jude, he felt at home. No, well, to be honest, when he was in Ateneo versus let's say when he was playing in Beda, is with San Beda, mas marami akong nakitang post sa IG na ang saya-saya niya eh.
Okay.
Nagpo-post nga na nag-extra work eh. Di ba? So
Okay.
it's not always, you know, the competition, but more of taking care of the players who have been with us also. And you know, having them with me or with the team, with the program, and seeing them with Coach Jude Sanbeda, diba, it makes us also prouder. And even during the recent tournament before all this pandemic happened, diba, we played against them. Pero yung mga players, kita mo, konti na lang mag-akapan during the round robin. Because that's how close they are. Diba? And somehow, you know, dala nila yan eh. And pagdating sa court, magtutulakan yan. They'll probably play the best game that they can. Diba? Then after, kita mo, they share, you know, one table, eating dinner. Nagiging simple. And you know, I'd rather see that setup than, I don't know where the player went. Diba? Or napabayaan ba siya, or ano nangyari sa kanya. And, that's why Coach Jude and I, pagka nun, lagi kami nag-uusap. Diba? Kasi yun yung nakakatulong sa amin. While, of course, syempre, the people will say, oh, Ateneo, San Beda, mas magaling si ganyan. Maraming debate. Hindi naman matatapos yan. Diba?
Totoo naman yan, Pok. Siyempre naman, di ba? Okay, bibigay ko muna kay Coach Jude ang floor, no? Coach Jude, your thoughts on that?
Of course, malaking tulong yung tulong ni Boss MVP sa aming program. But there's really no competition in terms of what he's giving to both schools because we have separate budgets. So every year naman, we present a budget and then he approves. So very separate. So he's really helping both programs, and we owe him a lot in terms of his support. Um, Rivalry, there will always have rivalry because we were both successful programs, and then of course you have the competition for recruits, di ba? Syempre kung magaling yung bata, we both want to recruit them, pero hanggang dun lang. But actually what happened, I think, in the past few years has been more collaboration than rivalry, kasi like what Coach Epok said, we constantly communicate and we help each other. Fortunately also we have different needs. Like right now I have more needs of guards. Sila naman, they have more needs of big men. So in a way we help each other. Like if I see some talents abroad na na bagay dun sa position that they're looking for, I give him a tip, and vice versa. Ganun din si Epok sa akin. So we really help each other. So yun, nabanggit niya si Clint Doliges, and together with Clint is also K. Mark Carino,
Ah, yes.
who is a big recruit for us, because especially now that we don't have foreign players anymore in the NCAA, and si K Mark is about 6'8". So he's been a big blessing to us, no? So yun, galing sa Ateneo yun. So that what we have really is more partnership than rivalry so far in the past few years.
Ayan. Alam mo, nakakatuwa naman yan kasi parehas ko na kayo na bola ba nung mga panahon na nagsisimula yung Pinoyliga. So, binola ko muna yung Bedista, tapos sabi ko pupunta muna ako sa Ateneo, bulahin ko rin ngayon. So buti naman, ako nasa gitna ako. Hindi, joke lang. Judy, meron ka bang ideas sa sinabi nila? What do you think?
Well, I do think, like, as far as college is concerned, it's important to be loyal to your school, and I do I can see how healthy it is where there's both collaboration and competition, right? Because you want to be loyal to your school, number one, but you also know that your success can be their success because you guys can help each other out. And truth be told, because you guys have good resources, parang madodoble yung eyes and ears nyo everywhere, right? Especially if like Coach Jude said, kung marami ng point guards and then kailangan ng kabila, sila yung first na kakausapin mo because the communication lines are the ones that are open all the time, right? So I do think that's definitely the way to go, and you can't argue with parang you can't complain because both win, right? It's not like one's winning and the other's not winning. I mean, I think when people say win-win, I mean, this is hands down, this is the perfect example. It's a win-win, right? Because both win.
Agree. Ngayon, Vince, with Lasal side, siguro ikaw as an external resource between the two schools, talk to us about the personal aspect of team management in terms of that. Kasi, syempre kanina, si Coach Q mentioned that kung minsan makikita mo yung mga player magkakasama, no? So, kumbaga, para bang, can you talk to us about yung experiences sa Lasal side that talks about yung personal aspect, yung personal touch, yung personal relationship ng mga team managers sa mga players that sustains the relationship so that kumbaga makabuo tayo ng winning program. What were the experiences of the Lasal side on that?
But first of all, you have to have a relationship with your players because yeah, you need to communicate with them, you need to talk to them, you need to mentally prepare them, physically prepare them. You have to know if they have a problem, whether it's a problem at school or a problem at home. You have to find out these things. I think that goes for all the schools, whether it's Ateneo or San Beda or La Salle or UP. I think you have to have a relationship. Management needs to have a relationship with its players, and it's not just a hindi parang yung um, I think it has to be a close knit relationship. You have to be in constant communication with your kids. I'm talking about the young men with the players, especially right now, itong situation na to, that we're all in the outbreak, the pandemic, that you have to be in constant communication with your kids, with the young men you're managing, you're handling, you have to see if they're getting enough sleep, if nutrition wise, if they're exercising, they're doing their workouts, if everything is okay at home, because all these things affect them. And it's part of their preparation for if the UAP season suddenly starts or the NCAA suddenly opens. You have to make sure these kids hit the ground running, and uh, you have to constantly communicate with them. It's not just the managers, even the coaches, the trainers. You have
Mm.
to. It has to be a uh, rock solid, near airtight relationship you have with these kids, because you're also part of the growing up process of these young men. You have to para
Agree.
ka na ring parent nila as para ka na ring magulang nila, second father or second
Yeah,
mother, because you're
agree ako
guiding
dun.
these kids. I'd like to think all the schools. I'd like to think holistic yung development ng mga batang ito. It's not just basketball, but holistic life lessons. Hindi lang basketball lessons. You teaching them the values of hard work, teamwork, discipline, all those things. So it's important. It's part and parcel of yung pag-communicate mo sa mga players, yung relationship. Hindi lang sa Lasal ganyan, and I think sa lahat ng schools ganyan na kailangan talaga may maayos ang relationship mo, matibay ang relationship mo with the players.
Agree ako dyan, Vince. Ano? Kasi meron sa research namin, ang sabi tungkol kay Coach Q ito, ang masasabi ko lang, he makes a lot of things possible and easier for us. Siya yung tagasalo namin sa maraming bagay. Yan ang sinasabi ng mga players
Tungaling
na, sus! So, ibig sabihin talaga, it makes it easier for them na para bang ang treatment sa team manager is kuya, tito, na para bang tipong taga-salo, taga-buffer. Kasi nakita ko yung dalawa, no? Ako kasi pag bumibisita ako sa mga practices nila, nakikita ko sila as people persons eh. So kumbaga si Coach Q, nasa gilid lang yan. Tapos habang nag-train si Coach Tab, di muna magpapakita yan. Tapos darating na lang yan. Tapos, tapos iistimahin niya na lahat eh. So you could see already the relationship. Same with Coach Jude, eh. Talagang makikita mo talaga siya to the level of ano ba yung mga tinapay yun, nabili na ba yan? Ganyan. Ako, na-experience ko siya, nakikita ko first hand. No? So how important is that personal touch, Coach Q, in managing the people and the player in their development process? Totoo
nung
yun. Sinabi
bago
talaga yun.
bago ko
Na-research namin yun.
bago ko sagutin yan, nung nagsasalita si Vince, naalala ko yung kaibigan ko sa volleyball, si Mr. Philip Wico. Parang,
Yes, sir.
parang pareho yung tono eh. Anyway, yung personal touch, I guess first and foremost, we have to remember that all of them are students, diba? And at our age, nung panahon na ganun tayo, marami tayong gustong gawin. Diba? You have your studies there on the side, you have sports on the side, and you have your personal and social, and then right now you have your social being the internet or etong platform na to. So ang dami. You can, some say it's distraction, di ba? Kasi you're distracted to what you really want to happen. You know, others say it's motivation because it motivates you to perform better. People saying how good you are, di ba? Ang daming factors eh. And you know, Coach Jude, myself, and to some extent even us, sometimes you're caught in the middle, eh, di ba? You talk to people experiencing, you know, daming bagay na nakita ko to sa internet, but at the same time I have problems here. And those are our players. Ganun sila. No? The only difference I think this generation, because of the platform that we have now on social media, they talk less at the start.
Ah.
Diba? O, kunyari, may bagong player, or kahit hindi player, o, kamusta ka na? I'm good. Okay lang ako. Diba? O, kamusta naman parents mo? Yeah, they're fine. Diba? Nandun po, nasa ano. Diba? Ganon. Diba? Hindi yung, iba na eh. Kasi they're used to talking using their phones, laptops, diba? Ang daming needs. But, when you become someone close to them, or you become true to them, then that's the time that they start talking sense. Diba? Yun na yung kung ano ba talaga sila. Doon mo na sila nakikilala. And I guess it's both good and bad from my end, because good kasi you get to know and touch a lot of lives, diba? A lot of kids somehow, help them, you know, at times make decisions. Coach Jude is longer in terms of tenure, in terms of managing teams, no. May mga marami ng players si Coach Jude sa PBA, but one way or another, I'm sure nandun siya, part siya ng thought process pag bago sila mag-pro, ano yung gagawin. And it's not really bad, but that's the difficulty eh, on the other side of the coin, because you know you want them to succeed, and somehow from the time that you got them from recruitment, the time that they spent playing for your alma mater, your school, you want them to do the right thing so that eventually yung dream nila maabot nila. But it's not, you know, it's not 100% foolproof eh. Yes, some will succeed, others will not. And the emotions na that you have from the very start, ipon yan because it's a relationship you have with them eh. You know the one Vince mentioned, that you have to take care of yung mga eskwela nila, and those are parang naging institutional na yan eh, di ba? Kaya nang gawin yan, naayos na natin yung sistema dyan, but really it's the psyche, it's being a friend, parang, or if not, sabi nga ni Benny, kuya-kuya, di ba? Pero more than that, it should be a voice that they listen to and that they respect. And for these kids who rarely talk, rarely speak, you have to earn that. And I think that's what I learned also from Coach Jude. Kasi nakikita mo lang yan. Ganun lang naman ako yun. Titingnan mo lang kung sino yung mga nauna siya. Even from Paulo Trillo before. Diba? The relationships he had with the 5 players. Diba? You have to look at them. You have to study them. And somehow, yung good traits na nakikita sa kanila, na they play around with the players, nakakausap mo sila. That's exactly, you know, being there for them, and that assures them na kahit ano pa man mangyari, di ba, parang somehow I got their backs. Kaya ganun siguro yung
Agree
sagot
ako.
sa'yo. Oo.
Okay.
Ngayon,
Coach,
ikaw
alam mo,
naman muna ako, hindi ko lang.
ako coach, ito kay Coach Jude, i-stop ko muna si Coach Jude kasi may papapasukin ako isang tao para magsalita tungkol dyan. Kumbaga, we'd like to welcome on board sa ating studio, better late than never, Mr. Robert Berto Bolic. Hi,
Hello.
Berto!
Hello, sir.
Hello! Oh, ito,
Hindi ko alam saan ako
papalakpakan ka namin.
papasok.
Bigla ka na lang pumasok, di ba? Ganyan talaga tayo. Yan ang effort natin ngayon. O mag-say hello ka muna sa ating mga ating mga kababayan dito that's been watching our podcast So we're
Hello
glad
sa lahat
to
ng
have you here.
nanonood dyan. Lalo na kay
Ayan.
Boss Jude.
Yun eh. Siyempre, di ba? Berto, ganito, no? Kasi pinag-uusapan ka namin kanina, sabi nga kanina ni Coach Jude, if and meron nga tayo dito si Vince Vico from Lasal, Nag-uusap kasi kami kanina, ang sabi niya, sino ba yung mga player na talagang, kumbaga, you never thought na talagang mare-resurrect yung career or magba-bounce back after yung mga nangyari. Ikaw yung perfect example eh. From your Lasal days, sabi nga ni Coach Jude na relegate ka na dun sa Team B. Talagang desidido ka that this is not for you. Hindi ikaw 'yon. Kaya nag-transfer ka sa Lasal. Siguro balikan lang natin yung thought process mo na yon, Berto. Ano nga ba yung nagdumaan sa isip mo during that time when you were in that situation from Lasal to San Beda?
Siyempre sa buong career ko sa high school, tapos nag-high school ako sa Green Hills. Siyempre, parati ako nakakalaro. Never pa nangyari sa akin na hindi ako nakakalaro. Kasi yun yung problema pag taga-province ka eh. Tapos ako wala akong alam kung anong school meron sa Manila. Wala akong alam kung ano yung PBA. Wala akong alam kung may kailangan mo kumuha ng manager. Kailangan mo kumuha ng ganto. Wala kasi akong alam eh. So, at that time lang, when I graduated from high school, sabi nga ni Boss Jude, ba't di niyo ako kinausap noon? Alam na kasi nila na sa Lasal ako pupunta kasi loyal kasi ako sa school. So, yun lang, Lasal lang ako. Wala akong hiningi, wala akong kaalam-alam. Kung ano lang bigay lang kasi from the province kasi gusto ko maglaro lang eh. I just want to play. And pagdating ko na doon, ayun, ang dami palang may mga bosses, kailangan mo, daming kailangan daanan. So, nabuksan yung basketball eye ko kung ano ba talaga yung basketball dito sa Manila. So yun, kahit nakaupo ako sa bench, parati lang talaga ako nag-shooting sa umaga, kahit may game kami ng hapon. Kasi feeling ko, kahit di naman ako gagamitin, I think it's not an excuse na hindi na lang ako magpa-practice, hindi na lang ako magsisipag. So, doon lang ako sa gym, every morning, shooting, nagpapapagod kasi alam ko medyo wala akong playing time or medyo hindi pa siguro ako nahanapan ni coach ng pagkakataon para gamitin. Siguro nandyan yung mga seniority din. So, yun lang sa akin, araw-araw. Hindi never ko binababa yung ulo ko. Kahit alam kong baba na, pero through hard work and perseverance, I think you can accomplish anything in your life. So I just started yun lang sa hard work lang, araw-araw. Kasi mabilis lang yung panahon eh. So pag sinayang mo yung araw, akala mo isang araw lang yan. Magiging 2 araw na yan. Hindi mo alam. Nagiging taon na hanggang wala ka ng career. So sa akin araw-araw lang, and then eventually, yun na nga. Alam ni Boss Epok yan, nag-try out ako sa Ateneo. Prematurely. Gusto ko kasi makabawi. Yun yung mindset ko. Gusto ko makabawi. But, yung maganda lang nakapag-isip ako maturely. Dapat mapunta ako sa team na gagamitin talaga ako na nandun. Sa Ateneo kasi medyo revamp din yung time na yon. Tapos baka new coaches. Yung mga ganun. Hindi kagaya kinausap ako ni Coach Jamaic, sabi niya, bago ako dito, madaming mawawala, may spot ka, pagtrabahuan mo lang. So, nag-San Beda na ako. So, yun.
Ang galing, Kung Jude T, you have your questions to our Gilas Pilipinas stalwart, Berto Bolic, Ano bang yung chime in on what he just mentioned?
Well, ako, I guess it's more of yung transition mo, no? From the training team to college to now, in the pros. Ano yung mga ano yung mga pagkakaiba and the differences na kailangan mong i-develop at na kailangan mong na improve para to get you where you are now?
I think para sa akin, you have to have that mindset na dapat walang mas magaling sa'yo. kahit alam mong meron, it's because pag nag-isip ka na meron mas magaling sa'yo, down ka na. Physically, emotionally. So, para sa akin, I just feel na dapat mas magaling ako dito. Paano ko gagawin yan? So, through hard work, every day in training, every day trying to battle your teammates. Alam ni Boss Jude yan sa San Beda namin. Pagdating ko sa San Beda, nagulat ako sa culture nila. Same lang din sa Lasal, winning culture. Pero difference lang is, dun sa Beda kasi, medyo nag-click ako kasi puro taga-probinsya,
Okay.
madaming Bisaya, madaming kahit mga Tagalog, pero hindi taga Manila, taga Tarlac, may taga Bicol. So, lahat kami, may isa kaming goal na, gusto, dito na kami sa Manila. So, I think, nung unang apak ko kagad sa Beda, naramdaman ko na kagad yun. Then it started with Coach Ford. Coach Ford, Team B.
Araw.
And then, bigyan ko ng comment si Boss Jude niyan. Team B kasi kami dati, 12 kami. Pero he opted na 2 teams. 6, tas magkabila ang grupo sa Father Martins. So, tinanong ko, bakit ganun? 6 para mamamatay kami. Yun yung sabi, gusto mo maglaro, di ba? Gusto mo mag-excel. Gusto mo ng playing time. Ito na yun. Wala nang upuan yun. So, I think it all started from there. I commend Coach Ford nun. Walang sweldo si Coach Ford nun yung team beat, pero 5 a.m., 6 a.m., nagpa-practice na kami, 4 yung call time. So, alam mo naman, Team B. So, binibigay lang namin yung best hanggat, ayun na, nagde-develop na, may playing time na, yung hard work, araw-araw. Tapos pagdating naman sa pros, medyo medyo alam mo na, marunong lahat. So, kailangan marunong ka dumiskarte, mabilis ka cope up sa mga coaches. Kasi hindi na yung practice kagaya sa college, natuturuan ka pa eh. So you're in the pros na, it's more of set plays, films, panoorin ko anong kailangan baguhin as a team. Yung individual kasi, magsarili mo na eh. Hindi kagaya sa college na sabay-sabay kayo eh. I think yun lang yung pagkakaiba. And the level of competition, tapos yung katawan, utakan, diskarte is napakasaya kasi marunong na. Hindi na kagaya ng college. Okay. Medyo mahina-hina lang itong team na to sa pros kasi walang ganun eh. Anybody can beat anybody. So, dapat every night, alam mo kung anong kailangan mong gawin. So, I think yun lang yung pagkakaiba.
Very good, Thank you, Berto, for that. Coach Jude, Roque, bibigay ko sa iyo yung floor. Ano ba masasabi mo dito sa bata natin na to? Kumbaga...
Hello, Berto. Well, before ako mag-discuss, may katukayo kasi si Berto na nanonood sa atin. Si Tito Bert, birthday niya tomorrow. He's watching from Rancho Cucamonga in California. Kasama nung aking high school buddy na si Paul Lardizabal. Paul and his wife Edith. Hello. Kamusta sa inyo? I hope you're safe. Very proud ako kay Berto. Nung una siyang dumating sa amin, sabi ko, parang ang angas nitong batang to. Baka hindi ko makasundo to. Mukhang mayabang, napaka-forma, ganyan. But iba yung puso na pinapakita niya every time he trains and every time he plays. Talagang ayaw niya matalo. Now, during his first year and even when he was with Team B, you can see that he has talent. No? He has the ability. He is athletic and he's very smart. But it was on his second year, lalo na nung PBA D-League namin under Signal, dun lumabas yung laro ni Robert eh. I don't know exactly what happened. Basta all of a sudden, biglang quantum leap yung nangyari sa laro ni Robert. From being a good player to becoming a great player. And instantly, he became the MVP nung PBA D-League. Tapos nun, tuloy-tuloy na. Yun, nangyari na yung binanggit ni Vince kanina dun sa Phil Oil finals. And then, inulit ni Robert yon nung NCAA finals, no? Yung dagger 3-point shot. So, doon mo makikita ibang klase because there are so many talented players. Pero yun kay Robert kasi is more than talent eh. Talagang puso eh. Talagang para sa kanya, ako magpapanalo rito. Ako ang kukuha ng tira na to. And then the following year, mabanggit ko lang because not too many people know about this, no. The following year in 2018, we went to Dubai to compete in the Dubai Invitational Tournament. No? Ang lalakas ng kalaban doon kasi lahat sila may American imports. May tatlo ang imports nila plus national players ng mga iba-ibang usually mga Middle East teams. Ang average lang naman ng Robert Bolick doon 25 points per game. So doon ko nakita, sabi ko, ito si Robert, akala ko doon lang siya mag-excel sa college basketball. And of course, later on that year, he scored 50 points in one game no, sa NCAA.
Yes, sir.
Pero doon ko nakita, doon sa Dubai, that Robert can play in international level. Kaya sabi ko, pwede talaga sa Gilas eh. Kasi if he could compete that way sa Dubai against American imports, de kaya niya. He can compete. So, maganda yung ugali kasi ni Robert kasi pagka-determined siya to get something, he will really go for it. He will really work hard for it. And in fact, mabanggit ko lang, Robert, no, kahit na ito nagkaroon ng ECQ, talagang sinikap niyang makatapos. And I believe, graduate ka na, Robert, recently?
Yes.
Or may konti na ba? Graduate na, right?
Graduate na.
Yun. So, nasa PBA na siya for a year, pero pumapasok siya sa school para matapos siya. So, ngayon,
Galing.
finally, nakagraduate na si Robert Bolick. So, yun. So, galing.
Congrats.
Congratulations, Berto. Ako may tanong ako kay Coach Q. Kasi nasabi kanina ni Berto na nag-tryout sa Salasa, sa Ateneo. Meron bang panghihinayang ngayon? Na para bang tipong alam mo na para bang dumaan sa inyo tapos kumbaga nandito ngayon. So kumbaga para bang syempre this is all in the spirit of fun na lang na malaman natin yung thought process na yun, Coach Q.
Yeah. Nung pumunta si Bolick, siguro mga mga ilang araw din yun eh. Tapos talagang angat siya sa ensayo. I think and I agree with Coach Jude that offensively he's gifted. The coaches saw that as well. And kung natatandaan ni Bolick, nung kinausap ko siya, nung sabi ko sa kanya, ang dami mong kompetensya dito. Diba? Kailangan alamin niya yung desisyon niya kasi pag lumipat siya, hindi na pwedeng lumipat ng uli. So, sabi ko, pag-aralan mo mabuting option mo, subukan mo rin kay Coach Jude sa San Beda. To be honest, no, it's always good to have, a Bolick in your team. Walang no question about it. Kahit medyo intriguing yung question ni Benny. But then again, to see Bolick shine from Team B Team B siya sa Lasal, tapos pinagdaanan niya yung 4 a.m. practices with Coach Ford Araw. And if you don't know Coach Ford Araw, si Coach Ford, gentle giant yun. Mga 6'5 yun, 6'6. Tapos pag magsalita yun, mabagal. Diba, just imagine waking up 4 a.m. tapos sa Bolick, mag-planting rice ka na, di ba? So talagang it's hindi siya yung parang interesting, hindi yung excited ka, pero true enough yung pinagdaanan ni Bolick and right now where he is, everyone was very happy sa na-achieve niya. And, we can only wish him more success in his career.
Agree ako dyan. Jude T, any thoughts on this and with Bertos on this?
Well, ang ano ko lang naman, I think we're all very proud kay Berto. Tanong ko lang, as far as yung experience in Lasal and experience in San Beda and maybe even the pros, gaano ka influential yung coaching. Kasi I guess you say na ano di ba? Marami sa mga players sinasarili nilang training. Especially now in the pros, di ba? Pero in college, yung training and I think yung natututunan mo mas malawak siguro kasi teenager ka pa lang and you're still developing. But how much of a difference yung coach? Mismo kasi hindi pa namin napag-uusapan yung
Correct.
coaches dito. It's puro the recruitment, puro players, puro program. Pero the coach itself, tingin ko, is probably the single most important individual in the recruitment process. Kasi yun yung magiging father figure ng player pag pumasok siya sa program, di ba? So maybe pag-usapan mo lang kung ano yung from Lasal to San Beda, ano yung naging transition as far as the coaching staff?
Coaching staff kasi sa Lasal that day was heavy. Coach Jun Limpot, Coach Alan Kaidik, so Coach Juno, so tas Coach G Abanilla. So medyo mas sikat kasi yung mga coaches sa Lasal nung that time. Pero as you've said, coach is very important, but at the end of the day, coaches make players or minsan hindi rin eh. Kasi hindi mo mabiblame yung coach eh. Because some coaches like this, some coaches don't like this. Pero it doesn't mean na hindi kanya gusto. Siguro it just means na mas gusto lang niya itong klaseng style. So when I was in Lasal, gusto kasi ni Coach Juno yung defensive-minded kasi masyadong madaming players. Gusto niya ako maging defensive player, ganon. Hindi ko naman siya mabiblame because we won a championship eh. We won 2013, we won the championship. So, it really difference kung ano yung kailangan ng coach and ano yung magagawa mo for him. Siguro sa college kasi more on skills, details, paano magdiskarte. And that I learned from, especially kay Coach Boyet. It all started from Coach Boyet. Siyempre si Coach Jamaic. At first kay Coach Jamaic, it's more of no, not X and O's eh. It's more of paano ka maglaro with heart, sipag, tiyaga. So, yun yung kay Coach Jamaic. Kay Coach Boyet naman, puro naman X and O. Puro yung ito si going right, ito si going left. Field goal percentage, 3-point. So, madami si Coach. Doon ako natuto talaga. Ganito pala. May iba palang analytics ng basketball na ako mismo, wala akong alam. Siyempre kasi hindi ko napagdaanan. So, doon ko una nakita. Tapos sabi ko, may ibang style pala. So, iba-iba yung style ng coaches. Kung paano nila ipapakita sa iyo yung game plan. And both of it work eh. From Coach Jamaic, champion kami. Lipat kay Coach Boyet, champion din kami. So, sa PBA, same naman. Same lang naman. So, more of game plan, paano diskarte, paano mag-stop ng isang players, lalo na sa PBA kasi yung import, hindi kagaya sa college eh. Sa college, hirap na kami. Sa PBA, iba na talaga yung import. Talagang NBA caliber na. So, yun yung maganda. So, pero madami kang matutunan. And the more you learn, the more you succeed. And the end of the day, gusto ko, hindi lang siguro sa coaches yung sinabi mong recruitment. I think, yung manager din, isa din talaga yan sa crucial na sa mga recruitment. Kasi kagaya ni Boss Jude, no? Na-recruit niya, syempre, na-recruit niya ako. Na-recruit niya si Soberano, out of Tarlac. Na-recruit niya si Calvin, MVP na ngayon. Diba? So, si Bahio, naging Gilas Pilipinas. So, I think, nandyan din si James Quecote, nakuha din niya. So, it all comes from the manager din, kung paano yung discard niya, paano kumuha ng player. So, parati ko talaga may isip si Boss Jude kasi, dito si Boss Jude eh. Pareho kami, patawa sa labas. No? Patawa lang, biro-biro, usap-usap ng kahit ano. Diba? Mababae man yan, babae man yan. Mapusa man yan, ma-animals man yan. Diba?
Shy
Ganyan
type
sa
yan
labas.
eh.
Puro lang...
Yes, animals.
mga
Totoo
gagawahan.
yan.
Pero when it comes to the game, parati ko talaga ako mismo kasi I'm loyal dun
Seryoso.
sa anak ko eh. So, when I look at Boss Jude, tapos nakikita ko sa itsura ng gusto din niya manalo, minsan tatapikin niya ako pag mga fourth na, tapos dikitan, Brad, ayaw ko matalo. Brad, ayaw ko matalo. Brad, ayaw ko matalo. Parang gano'n. So, pag may nakikita ka din manager na gano'n, aba, syempre, kailangan mo ding, parati ko sinasabi sa kanya, boss, huwag kang magalala. Never tayo matatalo. Never tayo matatalo. Lalo na yung nag-sweep yung LPU.
Tayo matatalo.
Syempre, medyo
Hmm.
masama yung ano namin. Di ba? Ang ganda ng preseason namin, champion, D-League champion, tapos pagdating sa NC, sweep yung LPU. So, ang dami nagda-doubt sa amin. Sabi ko lang kay boss, mananalo tayo magcha-champion tayo. Maniwala ka lang sa akin. So, yun. Champion ka.
Siyempre naman, di ako, ganda ng tawa ko, bidista ako eh. So talaga, siyempre, proud tayo dyan, ano, Berto. Okay, thank you thank you to sa comment mo yan about that. Ano. Ikot ko lang, ano, Coach Jude, question about the coaching kasi si Jude T mentioned about coaching. We have at least 10 more minutes with our talk. Ang sarap-sarap nito usapan na to. Coach Jude Roque, question about coaching and how yung thought process in the kumbaga recruitment of coaches din, ano, kasi very integral part yan ng ano ng winning program, ano. Ano ba yung thought process, kasi syempre katulad similar din naman si Coach Q, no, nagkaroon din naman talaga ng mga transition of coaches, ano, from Coach Bo Perasol to Coach Tab, from Coach Jamaic to Coach CBF na, no, from Coach, ano. So kumbaga, I'd like to understand, ano, and the panel would like to understand, ano ba yung thought process na isang manager pag nagkakaroon kayo ng transition ng coaches? So kayo rin ba yung namimili diyan? Is that collective? Sino bang paano ang nangyayaring pag-iisip para diyan?
Usually it's a collective decision, no? Of course, syempre yung MVP group is very experienced pagdating sa basketball eh, because it has 5 teams plus the national team. So, you know, you have this big group of people that are experienced in managing teams. Kaya pagdating sa decision ng pagkuha ng head coach, usually consultation talaga yan, no, among that group. Pero si Coach Boyet kasi, nakasama ko na before eh. 'Di ba noon 2013 and 2014, and then na-promote siya sa NLEX, and then saktong-sakto on the same year, nawala siya sa NLEX as head coach, tapos si Coach Jamaic lumipat sa NU. So there was a vacancy. Kaya sabi ko, but I think si Coach Boyet would be the ideal replacement kasi siya naman yung pinalitan ni Coach Jamaic, and then tama-tama, bakante siya. He knows some of the players. In fact, I think more than half of the players nung 2017, nandun si Coach Boyet nung na-recruit sila eh. So kilala niya. So it was I guess an easy decision to make because of the familiarity of Coach Boyet. Now, yung coaching is really very important, especially in college basketball. Sa PBA kasi andyan na lahat ng magagaling na talents eh. So sometimes yung mga players na lang ang nagpapanalo. But in college basketball, iba eh. You really have to put in a lot of strategy, a lot of scouting report, a lot of training, halo-halo eh. Kaya napaka-importante na magaling yung coach mo in college basketball. I mean, what's the use if you have so much talent pero yung coach mo cannot maximize yung talent, no? So, importante yon. And I think Ateneo and San Beda have the best coaches in the collegiate level. So, tingin ko, in my opinion, that's 1 and 2. Of course, Coach Tab, for me, is the best coach in any level here in the country.
Agreed.
And pangalawa para sa akin, sa college level, si Coach Boyet. I think he has learned a lot through his experience and ang sipag mag-scout. Binanggit nga ni Robert kanina, di ba, yung mga tendencies ng kalaban, tinuturo niya. So, nakakatulong lahat yun eh. And that's the reason why I think we're also successful. It's because of Coach Boyet din.
Thank you, Coach Jude. Coach Q, ikaw, thoughts on coaching?
Well, yeah, tama yung sabi ni Coach Jude, no, that under the MVP group, madami talagang dadaanan yan in terms of sasalain. Not to mention, I guess it's also the same. We have our school, the institution, as part of the decision making. Diba, San Beda and Ateneo. Of course, you have the support team, and then the people around you. Maraming levels. Um, si Coach Tab naman that time, I guess ang lagi ko sinasabi diyan pag may kausap ako, kwentong kaibigan, sabi ko hulog ng langit because
Okay.
you have an Olympic coach, 'di ba? Coaching now collegiate basketball team. The knowledge is at par with European and even NBA coaches, no. At first, of course, being in the basketball world and having played, isipin mo, ano pa ba yung meron sa basketball na hindi mo pa nadaanan, di ba? Natuto ka sa maraming coaches, nakita mo kung paano gawin, nagdaan yung ganito. And all of us are at the same at the same level, di ba? Ito, pwede kang magtakbo ng triangle, pwede kang magtakbo ng flex, ang dami. Pero nung pumasok si Coach Tab, uh, I would say the approach was different. Umpisa pa lang, off the bat. How we look at things, how we do and execute even the simplest skills or training practice plan, na iba lahat. Now, what complemented that was we had a very hardworking coaching staff. Coach Sandy, Coach Jean, Coach John, most are also assistant coaches in the PBA na. So, nag-complement yon. But ang general, ang leader of the band, of course, si Coach Tab. Now, the thing that I cannot forget, and somehow it has changed my perspective in terms of basketball, is that when the first time we went out of the country, first and second year, I think, that we played in Greece, sa Europe, no? We played against European clubs. Uh, it's a different basketball. Dati, maaliw ka, di ba? Drive and dish, drive and kick. O tapos, pagkatapos sa motion, napunta sa dribble drive. Di ba? Lahat yan may pangalan eh. When we went to Europe, everyone was doing the same thing. May pattern na sinusunod dyan. Everyone was doing the same thing. But the reads, the angles, the precision was really different. It's like watching FIBA Europe na biglang may bumabounce pass, biglang may pumapocket pass. When in fact, when you watch it, matutuwa ka eh. Ang ganda panoorin eh. Ang saya, di ba? They distribute the ball. But si Coach Tab knows the science behind it. That's the difference. Di ba? We can always say we saw how the car was painted and assume that we can do it. But, at the end of the day, hindi lang pala siya basta ipapahid. Di ba? So, parang ganun eh. So nung dumating yung time na he had to infuse and he had to teach, it was challenging. And then that time the league was headed by Lasal, 'di ba? Parading Ben Embala as the best foreign player. And hands up, 'di ba? Talaga naman si Ben ang
Yes.
barometer in terms of a foreign player dati. So ang nangyari, uh, we tried so many things, pero at the end of the day, ang sistema ni Coach Tab, buy in yung mga players na pupwede pala. When we went to Greece, we played against the under-21 national team and we beat them via buzzer beater ni 30.
Yeah.
So national team yun, 21 and under. But before that, we lost to a club, third division. Merong isang player police, merong isang karpintero, may tatlong fresh graduate ng college, pero the way they play, sobrang galing. As in, sobrang galing talaga. Si Coach Yuri, who's also from San Beda, after the game, we went to the guy. He was a lefty, probably medyo dad bad na. Sabi ni Coach Yuri, you always shoot from this spot all the time and you never miss. You never miss. Tapos, why, what's your, why is that? Because I know that when I got the ball here, I will make the shot. And every time I get it, yun nga, true enough. Lahat na shoot niya. Pero it was a motion, it was everyone's moving, everyone's defending. So, sabi ko nga dun sa sabi ko nga dun sa afternoon trip na yun, when you learn basketball and how far we can be as Filipinos in terms of what we have, kung titingnan natin, if we consider our players resources, we really have them eh. But the level of play, ay grabe talaga. Iba talaga. And
Euro.
from then on, wala nang hinabol yung mga bata, yung mga players, kung hindi to be at par with clubs like, ang play Olympiacos, Panathinaikos, yung mga clubs na kakaiba yung sistema. And that is the reason why you can see Coach Sandy before. Trust the process, gumaganon, because it's always a process. And I guess it will not happen. Well, I'm sure it will not happen if not for Coach Tab. That's why it is very, very crucial, very important to have a very good coach in the team also.
Wow. Very powerful stuff, Coach Q. Ano? And then really, kumbaga, we cannot agree more that, the timon ba, the captain of the ship will always be the determinant of the barometer of the success of the team. Ano? So, with that said, mga kapatid and mga guests and mga players, Berto and everyone, this is a lively discussion. Nag-extend tayo, baka hindi nyo napansin. Nakuha ko kayo ng 16 more minutes. We spent 2 hours talking about the winning tradition. And personally ako, I really am very, kumbaga, parang yung pagbabalik sa akin, parang nasa field oil tayo, 'di ba? Parang kahit na wala tayo ngayon dun dahil sa ECQ, parang ngayon nag-iisip ako na parang nasa field oil ako, nasa gitna ako, syempre, 'di ba? Syempre boss ko si Coach Q, boss ko rin si Boss Jude. Doon lang ako sa may statistician, 'di ba? So, but what I'm trying to say is, we've extended and we talked about this, and it's a very, very engaging discussion. And thank you very much, for the panel, for spending time with us. And with that said, we would like to give each one the opportunity now to really just dish out kung whatever it is that you want to say to the public. If you have something to promote for the team, maybe just give it out. So before we call it a Saturday night na hindi na tayo nagna-night out, nakikinig na lang tayo ng podcast at webcasts. So, Vince, I'll give it to you first, whatever it is that you need to tell the public, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate si Coach Jude and si Coach Epok on running successful programs. Hindi madali magpatakbo ng um, year in and year out. Hindi madali magpatakbo ng successful na program. And ina-expect ng respective alumni nila na every year nasa finals yung team nila. So, congratulations to you both. And Robert, congratulations din sa'yo so far sa success sa career mo, and I wish you more success. Last week yung girlfriend mo ang bisita namin ni Benny sa usapang PSL. I wish you the best. Our loss was San Beta's gain, but we wish you the best moving forward with your career. And so yun, good luck. And Jude T, nice to meet you. Wish your father well. And to everyone, stay safe. Stay safe.
All right. Thank you, Vince. Jude T, I give you the floor to say your parting shots to the public and to our plenary. Yun ba yung sabi nila pag may conference?
Yeah.
Ganun yata yun.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Si Vince, I did want to say, nung nag-umpisa ako, si Chairman Filipico was the chairman of the PSC, and he did a marvelous job, and it's great to meet you here in this forum. Si Berto, ano, I don't think we've ever met, no? I've been out of frontline sports for the last 2 years, but sa tingin ko, uh, as far as sports is concerned, kasi ano it's really a reflection of real life, diba? It's the best reality TV for me. Like when people look at sports, from the struggles to overcoming to teamwork to a lot of the things, and yung story ni Berto for a Philippine athlete is as good as it gets, right? From the province, going to a high profile school, tapos struggling, na hindi niya na alam kung magsasucceed siya, and then doing everything he can, and now a super success story representing his country, representing his school. I mean, everybody's proud of what he's accomplished and what he's about to accomplish pa, diba? I mean, he's got his full career ahead of
Ahead
him,
of him.
right? Yeah. So, and then for Coach Jude and for Coach Q, I think for me, I mean, it's not enough to say that you guys have had success, because I think you can say dynasty. You know, kasi the beauty of what's being done now is these two schools actually probably have the most critical alumni that you would
Ah,
find anywhere, right? And if you don't win, and siguro hindi lang yung sila, their bosses, right? It's really the alumni that's gonna go after whatever's happening. And yun, di pa natin napag-usapan yun.
no, hindi natin na, but we had
And
time, you know.
everybody has their opinion, and for their programs to be able to silence the alumni, I think it's a huge accomplishment for those programs, because of the success. And that's the only way you silence the alumni, is to continue to be successful, and that's what they've done, right? And I'm, for me, it's really, again, the culture of what they've done, and they've done it with so much integrity, which is probably even the best accomplishment among all, to win with integrity, and all the things that they've done. So congratulations, and continued success to you guys. And then to Benny, thank you for inviting me. I love talking sports. Hindi ko na masyadong nagagawa because of what I do now, but I'd love to do it more.
I will take you on that, my good friend, Alam mo lahat ng ino-offer. Alam nito ni Coach Q, alam to ni Coach Jude. Pag may ino-offer sa akin ganyan, hindi ko bibitawan. Alam mo yan, Coach Q.
Warning, warning.
Warning ka na. You've been warned.
Be
Okay.
careful of what you wish for.
Coach Jude Roque, ang aking paboritong ka-coffee. Pagka dyan sa may Rockwell Santolan, pagkatapos ng mga PhilOil
Mhm.
games. So Coach, go. Party shots.
Yes, well, first of all, thank you very much for guesting me here. It's been really fun. Ang sarap ng usapan, especially with my friend Epok. And of course, Jude, it's good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. And Vince, nice to meet you. And Robert, good luck uli, and congratulations sa graduation. I hope in the future, Benny, you can invite us again. Um,
Oh yes, definitely.
I'd like to say sa lahat ng mga nakikinig, sana mag-ingat pa rin tayo. We're still up against a very formidable enemy, and an unseen force at that. So we have to be very careful, because we don't want to, as much as early as possible, we want to get back to our normal lives and enjoy sport. But that's not gonna happen if the cases continue to rise. So let's do our part. Let's try to avoid going out if we don't have to, and then maintain social distancing and everything. Kaya importante sa atin 'yan para matuloy na yung mga pinakahihintay natin, mga liga. Yun. So ingat kayo lahat. Maraming
Yes.
salamat.
Thank you very much, Coach. And before I turn the floor kay Coach Q, Nga pala, una-una, batiin ko muna yung aking paboritong SVP person, si Mr. Sander Gubat at ang kanyang lovely wife, si Miss Love Gubat. Ang palaging nandyan, nakatutok sa ating palabas. Kumusta po kayo? Tapos sila po yung nag-text sa akin, Jude T, tsaka Coach Q, na si BJ Manalo pala nanonood. So kumbaga, alam niya lahat ng sinabi nyo. So yung mga naramdaman mo, Coach Q, nung nawala siya, ramdam niya na ngayon. So, yun lang. Gusto ko lang muna sabihin sa iyo bago kita ilagay dito.
Alam ni BJ yun.
Alam na ba? Okay.
Well, yeah. First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's always good and refreshing to talk basketball after so long. No? It's also good to talk again to Jude T. And of course, nice meeting you, Vince. Regards to the dad. Aside from your age, it's always good to hear from Bolik. Ibang batch naman. And those success stories and how you tell us the things that you have to go through, makakatulong rin yan, especially for the younger generation who's aspiring to be basketball players eventually. I guess Jude and I were team manager by title, no? But of course there are people who's helping us, no? From my end, of course, Father Nemi is helping me. Tita Debitan, Tita Mita, no. So it's not really a one-man thing for everyone, and I guess that's also the secret in managing and handling teams, no. But again, more than ever, it's also important for us to, like what Coach Jude said, to be very careful these days. Let us take care of our health. Let us make sure that we're ready when the time comes. As a matter of fact, yung Ateneo team will have their testing next week, no?
Okay.
So just to make sure that pagka binigyan na ng go signal, pwede na, we can readily practice right away. And that being said, and like what you said, Benny, kulang yung oras para sa basketball. And I
Agree.
totally agree. This is a healthy conversation which hopefully marami rin napulot yung mga nakikinig.
Yes, Coach.
Salamat.
Coach Q, ay syempre ako palagi nga I look forward to our discussion kahit na minsan talagang kailangan na kitang habulin para sa mga discussion na yan,
Hindi,
So
tama na to.
talagang ako. Hindi, ngayon, bago dalhin kay Berto yung usapan before we say goodbye to each other, I'd like to say good hi to aking kaibigan si Mr. Marvin Espiritu, ang ating ang ating Jerry Maguire ng bayan, ang Jerry Maguire ng Pilipinas. Nakikita ko siya dito kanina, nagsasabi siya dito ng mga comments niya, So, Marv, I thank you for being with us on this discussion. So, okay, pupunta na ako kay So, nabati ko na ba lahat ng mga taga-SBP, Coach Mark Solano, Coach Ryan Betcha, at saka batiin ko na rin siyempre si Coach Jongoy Chico, ang leadership ng SBP, Boss Butch, Manager Butch Antonio, at saka siyempre of course si ED, tapos ED, Sunny Barrios, and of course my big boss, Mr. Sap himself, Mr. Ryan Gregorio. Thank you for always supporting me and Pinoyliga, of course, and our friends from MVPSF as well, And of course, bibigay ko na yung floor sa iyo, Berto, give your shout outs to your people, and one more thing, siguro bigyan mo na rin kami ng update sa iyong injury at saka sa iyong journey kung nasan ka na ba, kasi marami talagang nakikiramdam kung nasan ka na diyan.
First, gusto ko lang sabihin kay Boss Epok, yung time na pumunta sila sa Greece. Ganon din yung naisip ko nung first game namin sa Italy World Cup.
Sa World Cup.
Boss Epok, promise, nung first quarter pa lang, di ba tambak kami nung first quarter, kasi nanonood kami ng film eh.
Yeah.
Sabi ko, kayang-kaya to. Kayang-kaya talaga. Kahit si Coach Yang, alam niya, kayang-kaya eh. Pagdating sa game, hindi ko alam bakit ang bilis ng bola tapos parang lahat libre.
Yeah.
Like,
Totoo yun.
nasisira yung ulo namin. Ikot ng ikot. Sabi ko, pat libre? Ba't sobrang promise? Doon din ako nakakita ng basketball na parang, bakit libre? Tapos pag libre, shoot. Konting libre lang, shoot.
Yeah.
Pagka
Totoo
nagkamali
yun.
ka lang, shoot. Sabi ko, ano ba to?
Ano
Ang
ba
sakit sa
to?
ulo. Sobrang, well, I commend po sa, alam din, at least nakita din pala ni Boss F, yung akala ko
Yeah.
ako lang. Parang iba talaga yung basketball ng European. Tapos Serbia pa kagad. Iba
Naku.
talaga, sobrang
Naku
bilis.
po.
Parang, kasi naglaro tayo, alam ni Boss Epok yan, pag naglaro ka ng college, di ba, move the ball,
Yeah.
pero pag nag-move kami sa ball, nandyan yung bantay. Yung kalaban naman namin yung Europe, ang lalaki, syempre, dapat liliit yung court, di ba? Pero parang ang laki ng court, parang ang laki ng hinahabol mo parati. So, ano, iba talaga.
Iba. Iba.
Tama yung sinabi mo, Boss. Pero, again, kay Sir Vince, tapos kay Sir Jude, thank you. And hopefully, magkikita-kita tayo ulit. Kay Boss Jude, hello, Boss. Sana okay ka lang dyan. Huwag mo nagayahin yung bigote ko.
Huwag mo naggayahin yung bigote ko.
Sana kita-kita tayo soon. Siyempre, may utang ako sa kanya kasi nga, hindi ako nakapunta nung finals. Yung natalo sila due to na-injured ako. Pero I was messaging the team, kamusta sila. So, hopefully next year, makakapunta na ako. And of course, the injury happens, no? But that doesn't mean I'll change the way I play. I will always play the way I play. I will play with my heart and I will always play to win. And if I get injured, then I will go tomorrow and rehab again. It's simple as that. Sa mga kabataan diyan, lalo na sa probinsya na gusto din, pumunta dito sa Manila and then hopefully makapag-basketball career, ito yung gusto nyo. Sipag at tiyaga lang, yun talaga yung pinaka-importante. Tsaka isa pa, kahit gaano ka pa kagaling, kahit super ka pa dyan, always remember, kailangan mo talaga mag-aral. If you want to be on the teams like Ateneo, San Beda, mga Lasal, all those teams na matataas, kahit gaano ka pa kagaling, pero pag hindi ka nag-aaral, wala kang pag-asa. So I think yun yung pinaka-importante. Huwag kang matakot sa ballpen. Kailangan mo talaga mag-aral and then promise. Pag nag-aral ka, madami kang matutunan. The more na magiging gentleman ka, tas the more na magiging alam mo paano i-handle yung sarili mo. At saka, kasi na-handle mo na yung team, nasa harap na yung team. So I think yun yung pinaka-importante. Go to school and work hard. I think yun lang talaga makaka-propel sa'yo dito sa Manila because there's a lot of basketball players sa buong Pilipinas. Lahat gusto maglaro ng basketball. So if you want to be that guy, you have to go to school and then you have to work hard and yun lang. And then hopefully, mapunta ka sa mga teams na magagandang schools para if basketball is not for you, at least may second option ka sa school na nakapag-graduate ka. So, yun. Thank you sa lahat na nanonood.
Okay.
Stay safe kayo. Hopefully, matapos na to para makapagbalik na tayo sa college basketball, sa pros, sa volleyball, sa kahit anong sport na para naman yung mga sport enthusiast makapanood naman and hopefully soon magkikita-kita. Good luck and thank you sa pag-invite sa akin dito. Hopefully next time.
Of course.
nandyan pa rin tayo.
Grabe, alam nyo, sa totoo lang, gusto ko nga extend doon hanggang alas 12 kaso magne-Netflix pa kami. Si tradisyon. So, so but we actually, for everyone, and maraming salamat for staying for 2.5 hours and just really talking about basketball. Tama si Coach Q, talagang we really miss the game that we love. Kasi even in this virtual discussion, para tayo magbabarkada na nasa isang bench na nag-uusap tayo tungkol sa isang sport that we love, So with that said, on behalf of Bull by the Horn by Benny Benitez, presented to you by Pinoyliga TV. Thank you very much, Coach Q. Thank you very much, Boss Jude Roque. Thank you very much, Jude T. Thank you. At si Jude T, na according to our research, nasa artista level din yata. Lumabas ka raw, according to our research, noong 2018 sa isang horror movie. Hindi na natin napag-usapan yan, pero next time, Jude T. And of course, our in-house, our writer, Vince Wico, who's gonna be with me again next week sa Usapang PSL. Again, so hopefully, you guys get to watch it. The women's side naman tayo. So, guys, with that said, siguro let's say our final bye-bye to our staff. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you
Bye,
very
boss.
much. At
Boss Epok,
alisin ko
boss
na
Jude.
kayo.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Coach Jude. Bye, Benny.
Bye. Bye, guys. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Hindi na kami nakapunta dun sa point where nakapag Q&A tayo dahil sobrang sarap ng usapan. Actually, sa buong history ng aking podcast, dito talaga ako medyo talaga ang haba-haba talaga na talagang we never got to talk to the crowd all anymore, because I think there's a wealth of information that happened, so well, that came about from the discussion. So again, I'd like to thank everyone who stayed, the ones that really listened to the talk, and I hope that, with the discussion that we had, we get to learn a lot, and miss the game that we love even more, so that pagdating ng panahon na yon, when everything is okay, things will be better, and tayo ay prepared for that. So with that said, guys, again, like I mentioned, please, don't forget to listen to us next week. It's gonna be Usapang PSL this time. It's gonna be more about your favorite Philippine Superliga players, and hopefully we get to have the leaders as well. So with that said, guys, maraming salamat again for staying. So this is Bull by the Horn by Benny Benitez, brought to you by Pinoyliga TV. Thank you very much, guys.